right, so you guys, yes, you've been drug up out from the pit. I think some tension music is appropriate right now. La, 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 la. Here we go.
Can I just feel for Kel's emotions right now and ask where he is while we're getting dragged out of the pit?
Yes, he is in a nearby building watching you from like the corner of the window.
Cal, where are we going? Is there a setup in the middle of town? Are they gonna kill us?
He doesn't know. He has no clue where you're going. But as I said, you got brought up, and before you were brought up, you could hear all the noise from the village. As you emerge, there at the center of town, you can see. See me go to Ragos. Ragos, maybe there.
Abuse.
All right. So yeah, there are a lot of people, but they all appear to be kind of standing a little bit further aback and like looking more curiously than anything else. There doesn't appear to be a particular group of people formed around any of the execution points. So you feel like maybe that is not what their game plan is this early morning. Most of the people seem to just be staring out of curiosity because they were aware that they had captured some prisoners last night. You are dragged, or rather frog-marched and pushed, all the way around to this building right here, at the base of the stairs. With that, they roughly shove you in the back and push you to the top of the stairs and through two large open wooden doors.
I'm gonna keep my head up, dignified this whole time.
Yeah,
As
me
if
too.
I was expecting it.
That's a good idea, actually.
Alrighty. So, once you're inside, it is a huge, big, open, long hall. There are tables that are kind of like associated in the middle, or situated in the middle, like in a horseshoe fashion, with two humongous fire pits nestled between the two. There are Valkyrie of all different shapes and sizes plastered around the table, feasting on an absolutely massive breakfast. At the very far end of the room, sitting at a table himself, or by himself, with just a female Viking to his right and an empty chair to his left, is what you assume to be the Jarl. There are serving wenches running backwards and forwards, serving these people as quickly as they possibly can. As you are ushered forward, and everyone just, they look at you very nonchalantly. They carry on stuffing their faces, guzzling mead, and you know, laughing and joking as you're marched into the main chamber. Once you kind of get inside the door a little further, so I'm just going to move you guys here. They close the doors and then kind of stand in front of the doors behind you. And they kind of like grab your shoulders to stop you going any further.
Yeah, I am moving.
Okay?
Silently just look forward, just wait to be told what to do.
I'm going to change some of the tunes. Here we go. Okay. And more of a... Let's see. Make sure we get these right.
Where the hell did they get corn?
That's the most important question of the night.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, so as you kind of like look around the room, there's a flight of stairs that kind of goes up to the left and up to the right, kind of into you know, You come in from the sides and it goes up, and above you it looks like there's a huge, ginormous, wide balcony that circulates the whole place. So from where the tables are, it goes all the way up to the roof. So it's a very, very high and tall hall. It is remarkably warm in here. In fact, it's a little too warm, to be honest. The fires are blazing. Everybody's laughing and joking. And, you know, all of them seem to be very, very highly spirited.
Good, they're gonna kill us and be even happier.
There we go, that's better.
I'm oddly calm because I figured there's no point to freak out unless Radovan says the word that I can't remember, so it's all up to him.
Good.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna
that
repeat
word
it.
now.
I often look over at Radovan, anticipating this move.
Yes, let's say the word right now and start fighting all these people. It's a good idea. It's smart.
I still only remember the word that I said to use, not whatever you said.
There you go. Okay. So after a little while of letting you just stand there while everybody eats, tons and tons of pairs of kind of sharp and intenseful eyes kind of like keep glancing at you as they're... And they clearly know how to quaff ale or mead. They don't really drink everything. Half of it ends up in their beard. There are no utensils. Everything is very barbaric the way they eat. Eventually, you
Makes
see
me
at
want
the
to go
far
to
end
like
of the
medieval
table,
times or something.
the what you presume to be their leader, Jarl or whatever. He brings up a part of his tunic and wipes himself off, and then goes. With that, the two guards immediately give you totally unnecessary shoves in the back and push you down towards the right-hand side. So they're sending you down this way.
I run to the left. No.
And that's the end of you. Right. Okay.
Push so hard, guys. Clearly being complacent.
Okay.
Quiet.
Oh, seeing the blood. I step over it.
Right. Yes, you can see a trail of blood. On the table immediately to your right, there are 3 heads.
Oh my god.
Which look like they were probably fairly recently cut off.
Wow.
Do they look like Valkyrie, or can I not tell the difference?
They are bearded. They're not. They don't have any helmets on or anything like that. But you know, they're rough and rugged looking men. One of them looks like it's probably been there longer than the others, and it's got flies settled on it.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
I passed by that quickly and try to not look at it. Like, oh god.
they kind of push you guys all the way up to the rug in front of the Jarl. And then they just position themselves kind of to the left and to the right. Okay. The one at the bottom right says something, once again, in a language you don't understand. And the Jarl listens intently and nods. And then he looks and he says, So, you come to Bragos? Come to kill us, yes?
I'm gonna look at Beecham, thinking he's gonna speak up first.
The whole line of us just kind of
No, Beecham is actually kind of tucked himself a little bit further behind you, and he appears to be trying to avoid being seen.
Oh,
Wow. What?
seeing this, I'm just gonna be like, no, not in the slightest. That is not our intention at all.
So,
I'm staring at Beecham.
why do you come? Why do you come to Bragos?
We have come for conversation, for answers.
Okay, really loudly he says something in a language you don't understand, and the whole room just erupts in laughter. as he does as well. And the woman to his right, who is a rather kind of stern, long, she got like a huge flowing head of white hair, very physically fit, probably in her mid-30s. She's laughing as well, and the whole room is literally just, there's a joke going on that you just aren't part of. And Beecham is kind of like tucking behind you, again, still like ducking down. And then he says, so, Bregeos. This is a place known for great conversation, yes?
Yes. I'm going to kind of chuckle as I say yes. I mean,
He says, me and my clan, we are known for many things. Great conversation isn't one of them.
I'm not much of a talker myself. Neither is Beecham, apparently.
He says, but I am fond of conversation. Of all the men here in this great hall, you have found the one man who is most fond of talking and asking questions. I have many questions for you. Do you feel like answering them?
We came here openly and without violent intent. We will answer any question you have.
Okay, once again, he looks out and bellows something else out, a short sentence, and again, everyone's, ah, and they all start laughing again. He says, oh, no violent intent. He says, here in Bregeos, violence is something that is very common. It is a very, very, very comfortable way of life.
I understand.
And with that, he points to the one on the right. And then he points back in the corner to a huge big chest that seems to be guarded. The guy wanders over to it. And then you see him say, the Soros Inon Odin. And he comes back carrying the holy symbol of Odin that Radovan had on him. And he puts it down in front of the Jarl, who picks the medallion up and just kind of like holds it in the light and looks at it.
Oh, shit.
He says, you have already made great friends with some of our kind, yes?
We have stumbled upon them, yes, in our journeys. Far to the south of here.
Yes, you have met one of our priests, follower of Odin.
We
He
saw
gifted
him.
you this medallion, yes?
No, Jarl. He was already dead when we found him.
I'm gonna look at Radovan.
Says, oh,
We came across a battlefield while investigating for a local village down south, and we saw many men lying on the ground.
I see. I also noticed that you wear armor,
Yes,
much like some of my Valkyrie here.
We come from far to the south, the kingdom known as Arconis, where the harshest winters there are probably much warmer than your warmest summer. I am accustomed to wearing plate armor, but that's not practical here, so when I saw, while we were trying to survive in this frozen colds, I took some of the rented chain armor and had it repaired, because it's more my custom, more what I'm comfortable with. I could not abide by the studded leather that they had forced upon me to survive this cold.
So, your thoughts when you found some of my dead comrades was to take the holy symbol, take the armor that they were wearing?
We were curious about what had transpired, and we needed evidence. For apparently, what we call the lowlanders had come in contact with them, and we wanted to know why there was such violence when we had heard previously that hadn't been any conflict or encounters for many years before. And that is why we have made this journey here, to find out why you guys are going to the south and fighting.
Ah. So you are sent to inquire why we are talking of traveling south? These lowlanders, they tell you this?
Well, they're concerned because they've been living there for many generations in peace, as petty and as they are with their own internal conflicts, and this is a new thing that they're concerned about. And we offer to travel here for answers for them to find out why.
I see. So, you found these Himthiki and the Hurstkarl and the Ordinic priest. Where did you find them? Where were their bodies?
So the mountains to the south, there was some highlands, the hills with some rocks, and we found it a few days further to the south over this snow bluff that had created. There are many lowlanders fallen as well as who you speak of, and they had their weapons in their hands in death.
Ah, so you are familiar that this is something of importance to us? Is this right?
Yes, I respect this custom.
And then he looks and he says, Vidar? Vidar! Come out, Vidar. I see you hiding behind the big man. At which point James Beecham kind of steps out and says, My lord!
What?
Thanks for the resub, Hammer! Spam it!
Hammer!
Hit your height and take pants off.
Thanks, Hammer.
Hey, thanks, man.
So Beecham comes out and he says, Jarl Althric, I'm pleased to be back here in Bregeos with my recently departed kin. And then he kind of, you see the Jarl just kind of looks at him and grins, and you can't really kind of make out exactly what his intentions are, but there's clearly some serious tension between these two.
Recently departed kin.
What does that mean?
He says, You see? Many, many, many months ago, a ship moored up outside our docks claimed to be a ship of merchants. Said that they would like to trade, that they would be doing a lot of trading with us. And things did not go as was expected. Most of them were killed. The captain, we made an exhibition and blood-eagled him for his lies. But this one here, I took as my own personal slave, and he proved to be very useful. So with his knowledge of the South, we decided to let him live, and after a while, we afforded him certain privileges, and we thought he was friendly to us. And then one day he escaped and stole a boat and disappeared. And now here he is once again standing in front of us.
Interesting story.
We honestly, I was not aware of this.
At which point Beecham he kind of says, the intent, of course, was not to not return. But unfortunately, the vessel, it came asunder, and I almost drowned, and I was fished out of the water by some strange skirt-wearing men to the south. And, they were talking about a problem that they had heard that... you remember when we discussed matters before of agriculture, and I told you that the lands to the south were far more... And he's like, yes, yes, yes. You will be quiet now. So you're in the company of somebody who once was considered friend, and now I consider him not so. But more importantly, the question is the story you're telling us the truth? Did you find this? Or did you kill for it?
It is as I said, we came across the bodies in our investigation.
And you did not help these lowlanders kill my Himthiki?
We have scrapped with some Highlanders that have caused issues. We have traveled far and wide around here. Met even the dwarves in the mountains.
I see.
Coming
These
across
women
many
that
conflicts.
you travel with, they belong to you? They are yours? Are they your wives?
No, they are of their own. I do not claim them.
Yes, he does.
So
Be claimed by these people.
they wish you do not claim them. They are free to make their own decisions.
Yes, they are free to make their own decisions.
So they are women with no masters.
They are their own masters.
And he once again he raises his hand and yells something else out, and everybody immediately laughs. And he says, "Tell me, the lands where you come from, this Arcanus, there are many laws.
Yes, there are.
What do you know of these laws?"
Quite a bit. My religion is about these laws.
Oh, so you're familiar with law.
Correct.
We too have many laws and traditions.
And is one of these laws immediately arresting some people who happen upon your town?
No, this is not a law. This is just prudent. Strangers approach from...
We were peaceful. We let them arrest us.
Yes, this is why you are still breathing.
I see.
Of course, if you had been hostile and acted hastily, they would have killed you.
I understand. Of course, which is why we didn't. But that is not our intention.
So,
If anything, we want to stop any potential conflict with the others who live up here in this northern peninsula.
conflict is a way of life. The strong survive, the weak get conquered.
And yet you have some relations with the hill dwarves. Clearly you didn't conquer them. You let them live, and you even trade with them.
They have certain things that it is advantageous to let them be, for the time being. But they have usefulnesses to us. You, thus far, do not have any.
Well, I would like to...
Vidar has knowledge. He gave us information about those that are south, so we do not need this from you. And you have 2 unclaimed women. So, right now the only question is, this medallion or talisman of Odin, the armor that you wear, did you indeed find it on a dead Hurskar and Himethik? Or did you kill them and take it?
I did not kill the cleric. I did find it upon his dead body.
And you see, we have your word for this. Which, if we had any form of established trust, it may count for something. But unfortunately, I do not have anything from you from the past. So, your word is doubtful at best. However, the Hurskar and Himthiki were capable, albeit that the Himthiki are newly fledged warriors. You would have had to have help. So at the very least, there were more of you. At least alive at one time. Maybe they were killed in the battle. Or maybe you were helping the lowlanders. But never fear, the truth will out. For Odin himself will bring the truth to light this afternoon.
What's this afternoon?
This afternoon. You will enter a contest with one of my Valkyrie, the victor. If he is proved victorious, Odin will be telling us that you are indeed telling a lie. Should you be victorious, then we will be inclined to believe you.
Is this fight to the death or just...
It is a contest. It is not a fight.
Okay. Who will be fighting this?
It is a contest, not a fight. Nobody will be fighting it. But
May you tell us what the contest entails?
this
What is this
afternoon
contest?
you will be taken and you will participate. Your women can watch.
I'm gonna look at Radovan like,
May we participate?
You are women? No, you may not participate. You are not shield maidens. You have not proved yourself worthy.
Well,
Well,
they
let us
know
actually
your
prove
place.
ourselves worthy.
they are shield maidens in their own right, from where we come from in Arconis. They are anointed nobles as the same level as me.
Okay, with that, the woman sitting to his right says, They are shield maidens. And she gets up and comes around and she walks over to Kia and like grabs hold of Kia's arm and lifts it up in the air and then like tests her muscles.
Oh.
And then she looks back and she says, If this is shield maidens from where they come from, they are not fit to stand toe to toe with those that milk the goats here. Embargos? And immediately, like, he laughs and about 3 or 4 of the Valkyrie laugh. But she said that in your language.
Okay.
And then she kind of walks back and sits back down in the chair. And he says, If you are shield maidens, you will, as strangers, if you claim this right, you will be treated as such. Is this what you wish?
I'm gonna look at Marlo and Kia. I'm not gonna answer for you, so I'm looking at you to answer for yourselves.
Are they shield maidens, you said? Is that what they're called?
That's
Yes.
what
Am I hearing it right?
he said that
Yeah.
you're shield maidens in your own right where you come from.
I am a shield maiden then.
Very well. You will be held accountable in the same way. Our laws that apply to all warriors will also apply to you.
What are the rules of this contest?
Do not worry about the contest. It is for him to worry about. He is the one that's made the claim. It is his word that will be tested.
Well, I am curious as to what this contest entails,
And
since
this afternoon you will find out. So,
If we win, do we?
if you win, we will believe that you took the amulet of Odin and the armor from a dead priest and did him thicky and did not kill them yourselves.
Okay. And we will get another audience with you to discuss other matters for why we came here?
I do not see that this matter is anything to do with any other matter. If you have anything else to discuss, we can do so now.
are you having problems with the dead?
With the dead?
Yes.
Okay, as soon as you say that, the woman to his left, like, shoots a look at him and her eyes get big. Like, clearly that struck a chord. And he looks at you and he says, What a strange question to ask. Why would you ask this?
That's not strange at all, seeing as we ran into some on the way here.
You did.
There were 6 of them, I recall. Smelled of the sea. Blue eyes, frozen in their own rights.
Kiri.
Well, we don't know what the
They
bodies
smelled
were.
of the sea.
Yes, they did.
How far from Bragois were they?
A day?
Less than a day. It was like a day. Yeah, a day.
They were traveling towards Bragois or away from it?
Well,
This is
if
important.
if I was a lying man, I'd say towards your city, because that will give you more points in my eyes that we stopped them. But no, they were traveling to the south, which is proof that I do tell the truth. And you should trust me.
I trust you in this matter, possibly because it would not necessarily put your life at risk. However, the other matter it may, so you may be more inclined to tell a falsehood.
They were traveling to the south. We ran into them. We thought they were of your ilk, and we were prepared to surrender to them. And they clearly were not. They swarmed us. We dealt with them.
So you dealt with them. You were able to kill them. You destroyed them. Put them to rest.
And I dismembered them myself and scattered their corpses.
So, why is it you have chosen to come here and seek me out in Bragois?
It is, as I said, we as a party are concerned of
I'm
conflicts
just staring at Beecham as Radovan says this.
to the lowlanders who have recently struck a deal with the mountain dwarves, and we would not want that relationship to be sullied, and we'd actually want to expand that relationship to you fine folk.
You come
For
here
it-
offering lines and avenues of trade? What could you possibly have to offer us that we cannot take?
It seems like you guys are traveling south not for the lands, but for fear of something that's happened to the north.
Valkyrie are not afraid.
You are creating boats and wishing to expand, but you haven't in generations, last I heard. So something has propelled you to move, or to relocate.
You are making many assumptions? No. The
Fair enough.
new knowledge that we have to make larger and more impressive boats was gained from one of Vidar's friends. He bartered his life for knowledge of how to make a vessel that was much larger. In the past, we had not managed to do so successfully. They've proven to be too long and not sturdy enough in the middle. So we have had to raid up and down our own coastlines in smaller numbers. But now we will make these larger vessels, these long boats, and we will use them to travel much more swiftly with much larger forces. And as you probably saw, traveling up here, there is little to no land that is worth cultivating. That we have has proven barren this last year. So as such, it is necessary that we expand. The Valkyrie
It's-
way of expansion is through conquering. It is how we do it.
I understand. I have had some experience with lands that have... Well, we have had experience with lands that have gone barren in our own kingdom where we hail from. There could be an explanation for it that could be righted. And that is honestly the second part of why we came up here, to offer our help to possibly make your lands rich again, or able to be cultivated.
This is something you feel you know how to do?
Well, about 3 years ago, my friend Marla, Kia, and myself encountered an evil cult that was trying to do some dark magic, and in doing so, some purple shit basically left their mountainside and settled in the southern lands of Arconis and poisoned it. We were witness to the release of this purple mist, but we also heard that some other people helped clear the corrupted, tainted lands to the south. Another time, around the same time, we encountered a forest that had become barren because of a creature seeping in and corrupting the grounds, scaring away the natural lives there. And so yes, we have had some experience of lands that have gone barren and trying to fix it.
And why would you wish to come and assist us? How did you know about us? Or is this where Vidar comes in?
I'm going to look at Beecham. He brought us the concern that could be happening, that something was happening and the conflict could emerge.
Yes. You see, my original intention for leaving was to, as I said, assist you in gathering information about the situation south. But I knew of these individuals, and I specifically sought them out on your behalf, knowing that they might indeed be able to help you with your unfortunate problem. With that, the Jarl just kind of looks at him with a raised eyebrow, and he's like, "Oh yeah, really?" He says, "Well, maybe you are telling the truth. Maybe you can be of assistance. Or maybe you are liars. And we will find out this afternoon."
So after this afternoon, you'll know if we are to be trusted.
No, I will know whether or not you killed and stole. That is all this afternoon will prove. Nothing more, nothing less.
Fair enough.
After that, yeah, perhaps with this issue behind us, we may have an opportunity to discuss your ability to survive and not be of use, or your uselessness, in which case we will execute you, and you two will be guests of ours.
Tell me, Jarl, I understand, and I guess if this is how it has to be and we don't have a choice, so be it. Do you really think that if I were lying to you right now, that I wouldn't just hide these items from your capture? Knowing the reputation that Beecham has told me, I know I'm smarter. I would be smarter than that. You would think I'd just leave this evidence of my potential lying not with me.
No. As we have witnessed, those that are not used to the cold do not think as well as they might. It may have struck you too late. By the time you thought to do this, my guards were upon you.
And it was too late.
And it was too late. We do not know. But Odin will for sure let us know this afternoon.
Very well.
Do you believe in the power of the gods?
I believe in the power of one god, the god I follow.
So you do not believe in Odin?
I've never heard of Odin up to this point.
I do.
You do? Well, good. Because Odin believes in you. If it is indeed Odin's will that you are brought to us, and you are indeed telling the truth, this is one matter. If not, well, whether you believe in Odin or not, the results will be very clear to us. And this, of which of the gods do you follow?
I am a priest of St. Cuthbert.
A saint? You're a priest of a saint? Not a god, but a saint?
He is every bit a god in my eyes after what I've been through in my life.
So you have seen, have you ever seen this god of yours?
I've had visions of him directing me.
And what does he look like?
The Santa Claus with the cudgel.
The Santa Claus?
No, I'm not going to say that.
No. What does he look like? If you have had visions of him, what does he look like?
The visions have been directing me on what to do.
And
Not of him specifically, but him
you
telling me
know
what to
they
do.
come from him?
I do, yes.
Perhaps it is Odin? You just do not know him by this name? Perhaps the All-Father is your god too? You just have a different name for him?
Maybe.
I'm not going to say anything to this. I'm rigid right now.
Then, I'm sure if your god is just and believes in you, even if you are lying, if he is a god worthy of himself, he will protect you this afternoon. You will be victorious in the contest. Yes? You trust your gods to see you right in this situation?
I do.
Good. As we trust Odin to tell us the truth. Well, for now, would you like to go back to your previous accommodation, or would you like to sit here in the warmth?
It's not about what we would like to do, what are you going to do?
We are not heathens. I'm asking you a question.
I would love to stay here in the warmth if that is an option.
This is fine. You may go and sit at the very end of the table. I will have them bring you food and drink. I trust there is no need to hover over you with guards. You are smart enough to see that if you even so much as blinked in the wrong direction, that there are so many skilled warriors here that you would be dead before you took your second breath.
And these, and I'm going to hold up the bindings that are still upon us.
If you are going to stay here, then we can remove those for time being.
Very well, thank
So
you.
the guy comes in with his little axe and shears through your wrist, or through your the rope around your wrists,
Very well.
and then he escorts you down to the table here at the end. As as they start getting close to it, he yells. He says, "Knut, your move. Make room for our guests, Knut." And he kind of gets up with a scowl on his face and comes and shoulder barges the person on this side and nudges him up so he can fit in.
I'm going to sit down.
Alrighty, and they kind of, instead of looming over you, they just come and stand either side of the door. As you all start walking away, he says, "Vidar, no, you stay here, Vidar. Come sit with me.
No.
I have questions for you." Yes. And as you kind of walk off, he's, "I'll be there momentarily."
I hope.
May we partake?
All right. Yep. They pretty much get you down the other end of the table, and the servant wenches come and start putting food. Chicken, which kind of roasted chicken, fruit, vegetables, you name it. They throw it
Sweet.
all out in front of you. And then a large, plump woman with Princess Leia type buns on the side of her head comes over with a big jug and sits it down on the table and throws 3 wooden mugs in front of you as well.
I am going to eat and drink in silence.
All right.
Are you gonna purify it at all, or just do it?
Just doing it, I'm seeing it.
You
Alright.
can see all the way, because it's like from where you are, you can see clear all the way to the Jarl's table at the end. And the two of them are like leaned in really close and having a very in-depth conversation, clearly.
Well, fun times.
What do you think the contest is gonna be? I'm kind of nervous that I signed myself up for this.
Well, You can cast spells without being obvious, right?
Yes. But
It is your...
not that kind. What if it's a contest I don't have spells for?
Well, guess we'll see, Kia.
Yes. I am a shield maiden after all.
I'm sorry if I didn't speak for you, Org Marlowe. I'm gonna look at Marlowe, who's all by herself.
Yeah, I'm digging in and don't look like I have a care in the world.
You're a
Stuff
monk.
in her
You
face.
don't have a care in the world.
Yep, apples, corn, carrots,
Eat very stiffly.
potatoes, parsnips, Swedes, rutabagas, turnips,
Wow.
all
How
available.
do they get all this? Alright.
All right. I'm just gonna eat and try to rest and relax the most that I can.
Well, I mean, they eat for a good while. In fact, it almost seems like they shift from breakfast to lunch without skipping a beat. And generally speaking, all they really do is eat and drink and eat and drink, and they don't really do much else. Periodically, they
Wow.
walk outside they're usually out there maybe 2 minutes, and they come back in, often adjusting their breeches as they do so. But once the equivalent of lunch has gone by, Beecham is sent back down, and he comes and sits next to Marlowe.
Hi there, Vidar. Do you enjoy your talk?
No, not at all. It was very difficult.
Yes, that tends to happen when you lie.
He says, well, I don't know what you mean by lie. Didn't I tell him the truth?
Are we still doing this? The lying?
I seriously don't know what you mean.
Seems like you left out quite a bit of stuff. That's still a lie by omission.
Don't see how. I told you that I was a guest of the Jarl. I came here on a ship and I managed to escape. I told you that. What did he say or suggest that led you to believe that that isn't what happened? In truth, there was a lie. The only lie was that I brought you here specifically to help him with his issue. I brought you here to try to avoid conflict and help Arconis. But it
To
seemed
fix
as...
the problems that you and your shipmates caused.
we didn't cause any problems.
It says that you brought him information about the lands down south.
No, I gave him information about the lands down south in order to keep my head on my shoulders and prove to him that I was of value to be kept alive. He wanted to know
And now
about
there's
the
a
south,
problem
and I told
because
him.
of that.
Yes, well, I'm trying to have it rectified the only way I know how. And that's by getting you involved, isn't it? Unfortunately, the ship that I came on, the Merchants, the captain wasn't exactly truthful with the Jarl. He took offense and he started killing and lopping the heads off of most of the crew. At this point, being a survivalist, I realized that I either had to find a way to be useful to this man or my head was going to roll as well.
Seems like stuff you should have told us before we got up here.
I don't know what you mean. I told you what happened. I mean, if I was to fill in every individual detail, we'd be here for months. I mean, there's various different indiscretions that transpired with some of the local women, and, but nothing that I really think has any bearing on what we're doing, other than what I'd already told you. I even told you that, while I could probably get us in front of the Jarl, I didn't necessarily guarantee that it would go well. Told you that too.
Okay.
And he seems very kind of put out and uncomfortable. The reason I came down here was to give you a little bit of information about what's about to happen. How good are you with an axe, Radavan?
Oh.
Throwing them, I mean.
Oh.
Throwing?
Yes. Apparently the contest is going to be to throw axes at a target. Of which I'm very not sure what the target is, because he seemed to be somewhat amused at the concept of the target. But,
Kia.
in any
target?
You think
case,
shield maidens are made of shields?
he says, no, shield maidens are females that have earned the right to carry an axe and a shield and have proven themselves accomplished warriors. They are treated as the
Yeah,
men
but in this
here.
case it might mean something different.
Throwing axes, huh?
Yes.
What are we throwing them at, Beecham?
At you,
As
Kia.
I said, a target.
Oh.
But he didn't really say what the target was, and he seemed to be rather amused at the concept of what the target would be.
I'm not gonna do it if it's some innocent person.
Do you consider yourself innocent?
What?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of us.
I don't think so. We'll see.
But basically, you're going to throw axes, and an appointed one of these fellows, probably sitting around this table, is going to be throwing axes against you. And if you throw axes better than he does and win the contest, you're telling the truth. And if you don't, Odin is letting everybody know that you're clearly a liar, and that's going to bode very well for all of us. Not very well for all of us, and probably at this point me included. So I really do hope you find a way to ensure your aim is true, as it were.
And by aim, he means miss.
I don't think that's what he means at all, Marlo. Unless
He's amused about what the target's going to be.
Right.
How would you win if you were throwing axes at Kia if you missed?
We don't know who the target is.
Oh, how long is your hair, Marlo? Not very long, is it? Your
In
hair.
actuality, this is out of character. In actuality, Marlo does have really long hair, but none of the fan art has ever reflected that, so...
Right. Okay, so she does have long hair, but she just keeps it tied up tight? Because
Yeah.
Beecham's never seen... Kia wears her hair long, but you always have yours, like, bunched up, so...
Okay.
Well, when there are infidelities, and a husband accuses a wife of having an infidelity, whoever allegedly she had the infidelity with, they throw axes to cut the braids of her hair. You know, they would take the hair and they would tie them to a board, like that one. And he points right across here at this board, sitting over on the side. And then they would tie her hair in long strands, and they would throw to try to cut the strands, you see? And if all the hairs of the strands were cut, clearly she was meant to survive and therefore was innocent in Odin's eyes. If one of the axes unfortunately buries itself into her, she clearly was an adulterer and has met her punishment. So, perhaps they're possibly thinking something along those lines then. That could make sense. You're probably right, Marlo, actually. It would make perfect sense. So, you may have an additional incentive not to miss,
I've never thrown an axe in my entire life.
so-
Shit.
Then let's just hope that St. Cuthbert is willing to help guide those axes for all of our sakes.
I mean, there's some things I could try to do, but yeah.
And with that, at the end of the table, Ulthric Albrechtson stands up, and he... Everybody, it is time. It is time to see whether our new visitors come to us with truth, or they come to us full of lies. Do I have somebody here who wishes to throw against this man? And just about every one of the Valkyrie stands up and raises their arm. At which point he looks and he says, Fitch, go and find my son. Go find Asbjorn. Bring him here.
Espeon. You're fucked, dude. It's an evolved Eevee.
Alrighty, and they head off out. And, actually, he's already here, so there we go. Right. So, yes. So, a guy comes in, he's got, like, red hair that's kind of, like, tied in thick braids around his head. He's wearing kind of like a padded tunic. And he does favor Ulthric Albrechtson somewhat. And you can also see in his features that he kind of looks a bit like that woman that's at the other end of the table as well. He obviously gets his hair from his father and his kind of like sharp hawk-like features from her. He says, very well, we'll have a contest to prove if you're telling the truth. What was your name?
My name is Radovan Rainier.
Ratafan? Very well. Ratafan. You shall throw axes to prove your truthness against my son, Asbjorn.
Can I select a champion to throw in my stead?
Then how
Of
would
my
that
party.
prove if you are telling a lie? Or if you're telling the truth? No. You must throw the axe. If you are telling the truth, Odin will guide your hand.
Okay. Good. This will work. This is a
And
good
then he
idea.
says, and
Oh,
your-
we're doing it in here. Okay.
Yep, he says, and your women. Which one do you like the least?
Oh shit.
I cannot make that choice.
I'm actually gonna stand up and walk over.
Radovan looks very relieved.
Is this one here the one that you like the least?
Radovan, you're really gonna do this? You're gonna throw axes at Kia? Or me?
I don't want to. What do you want me to do, Marlo?
Radovan was telling the truth when he said he didn't kill those people.
By now he's kind of come over there and they've all pretty much stopped and they're all watching. He ushers the serving women clear. He says, and if he is telling the truth, we will find out in just a moment.
He didn't kill them, I did.
Oh, so you killed? You are saying that you killed a hearse Carl and other Himthiki by yourself? They did
Yes.
not assist you? You did it all by yourself?
I'm the one that slayed them.
Really? Do you expect me to believe this?
I
No,
slayed
no.
3 Valkyries as I did it.
He says, this is a preposterous boast for such one as small as you and a woman. Even my wife, Ragnhild, as great a warrioress as she is, the leader of my shield maidens could not accomplish such a feat. But nevertheless, he claims that he did not kill them. We will find that out. And then afterwards, we'll find out if you did.
Why don't you just kill two birds with one stone and let me take the contest instead?
Where would be the fun in that? This is entertainment for all of us. It is something of sport, yes? You
And I'm a
girls, you
woman,
have
the
sports.
stakes are higher this way.
You are a woman, and therefore the stakes are not higher. They are insequential.
Well, you could preface,
Insequential.
Jarl, you could preface this challenge with a drinking contest on her part. She'll drink any man under the table.
And then I'll throw the axes.
Contest. Drinking is a recreational thing, yes, but this is not something that we do to prove anything. Odin has nothing to do with this. No, you will throw axes. But, seeing as you are involved in this now, the other young girl, the other shield maiden, she will be tied to the board.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so they are these two Vikings will come over and kind of grab hold of you and yank your hood down. And then this woman comes over and begins to braid your hair into 4 separate braids.
Inhale deeply
And then after that, they take you and tie you by the waist and your ankles to this board with your hands kind of like tied underneath. They kind of put your hands down and then tie it all the way around your arms and around your waist. And then they take your hair and basically they pin it in 4 different sections on the board above you. So you're sitting there like with these 4 huge long strands of your hair.
Whenever anyone turns around, I'm gonna do a still spell. Do a couple spells on myself.
Can you do that without using your hands? Or
Still spell.
oh, okay. So you're okay. What do you want to cast? Yeah. So you're using the because that allows you to do stuff without the use of somatics,
Yes.
right?
So I'm gonna cast 2 spells.
Okay. What you gonna cast?
First one is mage armor.
Okay. So that's +4 to your AC.
Second one is bear's endurance.
Okay.
That's it.
So bear's endurance
For
just
now.
bumps your hit points. It's all
And
about
I-
survivability.
I'm actually going to kneel and do a prayer and gesture and say, pray to Cuthbert that I will my throw will be accurate and true and in keeping with my faith. And I actually want to cast a spell as I am kneeled.
This is ridiculous. Everybody knows that neither Odin nor Cuthbert have anything to do with the outcome of this.
Are you saying that physically out loud? Is
Yes.
Marlo saying that?
I think she's saying that. Were you saying that when I'm getting on my knees, or what are you doing?
Yes, I'm saying it loud and making a big show of it.
Okay. Everybody, the whole room goes deathly silent. And they all just stop and look. He says, so? You think me a fool?
No, I just believe that.
But I believe that Odin will tell us the answer, as does everybody here, and you think that this is foolish? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, why don't you let me do it?
Because you're not the one that is on trial here right now. You be
And why
quiet. Take
not?
her outside. Put her in the damn pit. We'll deal with her later. And they grab you roughly and start yanking you towards the door.
Oh no. I'm just staring as I'm
He says,
tied
so,
up.
it is one thing you come here to be in friendship, and now you wish to insult everything we stand for, our beliefs? Yes, this is how you wish to be friendly.
I'm kneeling and praying
So-
to prepare for this.
So that
Jarl.
we are clear, if Odin proves you are lying, the 3 of you will be executed immediately. There will be no discussion. Your lives are now on trial, not your words. Do we have an understanding?
I'm still kneeling. Just kind of.
Alright.
From my spot, I go, how many axes are going to be thrown at me?
As many as it takes to sever all 4 braids. If the
Right.
blades are cut before you are dead, he is telling the truth. If they are not, he is lying.
So while Marlo was doing all that, I was casting a spell on myself.
Okay, what are you casting?
I was using an extend spell to cast Bless to get
Okay.
a +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and
All
on
right.
saving throws against fears. So it'll last for 32 minutes
Okay. you're good.
because I am not proficient in axe throwing, so this is gonna suck.
But you have a fair attack bonus, don't you?
Yeah,
You can do this, Radovan.
it still sucks. I mean, yes, I do. My attack bonus is plus 13. So
From my spot, I'm gonna look over at Radovan with just the most, like, I believe in you, I love you eyes that I can do.
oh, that's not gonna help me.
Alright, Marlo, so they're dragging you outside and taking you towards the pit. Do you wish to do anything, or are you going to just go along with it?
I'm gonna go along with it. I mean, I did create a distraction so
Yeah.
that he could cast a spell, so...
Gotcha.
Oh, there
Okay.
is another spell I could cast too, but I probably can get away with it now, right?
So
I
yeah,
also
I
wanna
mean, they
tell
will
Cal-
take you and basically, you know, they don't tie your hands this time, so you don't have to. You can drop 20 feet to your feet, drop down that whole 20 feet with no problems. The dead guy's down there, so it's soft landing anyway.
I'm gonna tell Cal that we're kind of in a situation if he could try to find his way over here.
He tells you he knows. He says he's over by the wood pile behind you, or in front of you. Sorry.
Alright, thank you.
And yes,
Sorry, Cal.
is. Let me go ahead and. You see a little head kind of poke out.
Oh. If I die, I'm
From
sorry.
the corner over here. Okay.
Kill Radovan if I die. He did it. Just kidding, please don't hurt him.
So the contest is basically we're going to take turns throwing an axe to sever the braids. And if we both are successful in severing the braids before Kia dies, I was telling the truth? Or is he working against me? The guy
He
who's
is
going to throw
throwing
with me.
axes at one of the other women. And
Oh.
while this has been going on, they have
Oh.
tied a woman up here to this post.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
So
there is another...
basically, you're going to take it in turns to throw axes. So,
Okay, I see. I get it.
and if you manage to basically cut Kia free and she's still alive, you told the truth.
Okay.
If he cuts the other person free first, again, it's when you're starting to realize that the contest is you cut the 4 braids before he does. The aftermath is the potential of the death of these 2 women that really have nothing to do with it.
Got it. Okay.
So, it's gonna, that's the biggest thing, is it's like, wait a second. So, them dying has nothing to do with the contest.
I get it.
They
Yeah.
just get to live if you succeed, really. All right. Okay, so,
All right, so
what you're gonna do? So Kia, you cast Mage Armor on yourself, right? Which gives you a what is
And
your?
Bear's
Because obviously your
Endurance.
Dex is not gonna count.
Right. I think that's +3, so I think my AC now, let me just double check, but
14,
it will be
13.
17.
Okay. So what is your natural? What is your AC without your Dex? What's your flat-footed AC?
Oh, without mage armor too?
No, yeah. Well, yeah. What is your flat-footed AC?
Oh, it's 15 minus 3, 12.
Mage Armor adds 4, right?
I thought it was 5. But,
I think Mage Armor's 4. Do you have it? I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I'm not going to say I'm 100% sure, but I'm fairly
oh, it's
sure.
+4. Ooh, yeah, +4. Sorry.
Yep. Okay, so it's actually your AC is 16.
Yes.
Okay.
16, not 17.
All right. Okay. So here's how this is going to work, because obviously you're throwing to get close but not hit.
Yeah.
So your target, you need a 20 or over to hit a braid. 16 to 20 in that range hits Kia. Anything below that, you don't hit Kia or a braid.
I get it.
You got it?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Do you figure out what your
Yeah. So it's
And you're only doing a single attack, so
So it's BAB plus Dex -4 because I'm not proficient.
right. Okay.
Correct.
There you go.
But I have the morale bonus, so my Dex modifier is -1, so it just kind of evens out.
Yeah. There you go. So
So
you're
I have to
basically
roll
throwing on your
D20 plus
it's
10.
BAB -4, right?
Right.
Wait, so what range is he trying to hit?
I'm 20 or over.
20 or over. Okay.
Yeah. If he rolls 20 or over, he hits a braid. If he rolls
Wow.
16 to 20, he hits you.
There is another spell I can cast if I can get away with it. That'll make it a little bit easier to hit, but it'll also deal you more damage. I don't know if I want to do that.
Try it once.
All right. Well, it is 9 o'clock, so before we start hurling axes, we're going to take a short break.
Wouldn't. I got fired.
Kind of, sort of. Alrighty. So, obviously, he comes over and hands you an axe. It's like a hand axe, a throwing axe, and gives it to you. And he says,
I'm looking at it like I never held it before in my life because I haven't.
okay. And then his son Esbjorn, he hands, he draws one of his axes out of his belt, and he gets it and tosses it up in his left hand, and he says, Esbjorn? He says, Father, this is Odin's will, yes? He says, yes, Esbjorn? He says, then I will throw with my left hand. I need to practice. And they laugh.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
He says, you are the one that is on trial. Therefore, you have the advantage. You will throw first.
I'm gonna look at Kia, and I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Alrighty, so now a fumble. We're going to see what the result is. Should you roll a 1, but anything 2 to 16, you won't hit Kia and you won't hit a braid. 16 to 20, you will hit Kia. Over a 20, you will hit a braid, a hair braid.
I'm gonna do my best not to flinch.
Fuck. All right.
Okay, so you have
Holding my breath.
your basic attack bonus -4, and you used aid or bless rather to counteract your
Dex
-1
penalty.
dex. Okay.
1d20 plus
first
10.
Axe, Radovan.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Here we go! Oh.
Okay, so it's like, poof, and the axe impacts and lands on the board about 2 inches from Kia's left side ribs.
Radovan, hit me.
Trying not to. It's kind of a weird concept.
He is throwing with his left hand.
Oh, shit.
So he is actually throwing exactly the same as you are.
Oh.
Damn.
And the axe hits the far left hand braid, and immediately there's now one loose hanging braid sitting there, and they're all like, "Hey!"
So there's 4 braids for each person,
Yes.
right? Okay. It's like we're playing 5th edition. I'm doing my death saving throws. All right, second throw. Oh my god.
He got even closer to Kia this time, but he didn't actually hit a braid.
Ah, Radovan. It's okay, Radovan.
Right. Asbjorn picks up the axe.
Oh
the
my
second
God.
braid cuts.
So with this,
By
I'm just gonna-
very definition, that he and you have exactly the same chance, and you threw first, you technically have the advantage. But of course, it always comes down to the fact that it's you rolling
Your
dice.
battle. Can I use my inspiration to inspire him to do better?
Tell me how you're going to do it. Give me your method. Give me an inspiration speech.
I can't do Radovan, it's just me and you. All you have to do is throw the axe right here. I know you can do this. You've led an entire army against the Githzari. You can do this, alright?
Get Yonki, but I got your point.
Okay, Yankee. I was like, which one is it? If you can defeat an entire army and not die in the forlorn hope, you can throw an axe at a braid.
Aww.
All right. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Just
Come on.
because I think that this is, it's an interesting concept because technically it's just words. There's no oomph or power behind it, but it's a pretty tense and difficult situation. So here's what we're going to do. In this situation, we are going to do something that's kind of different. We've just given you, or we've just basically let you give Radovan your inspiration points. So I've taken it from you and I've given
Aw,
it to Radovan.
cool.
So you can use that inspiration point for for a reroll on any dice that you choose to reroll on.
But of course, I have to choose that I'm going to use it
No,
before I roll
I'll
it,
let
right?
you use it after the fact.
Oh, yeah!
Go for it.
Thanks, Gord.
Okay, well that's very, very kind of you.
Yeah, well, it's like you're about to throw. It's like, you stop and pause. Everybody's throwing darts, and you've been like that, and oh, this one's not going where I want it, so you stop and flex
Sure.
yourself and get ready to go again. All right.
Here I go.
Yeah!
Okay, you chopped off one of Kia's braids, and it's,
Oh, you did it.
okay. So
Oh, my hair.
can you imagine the nerves that a person would be at seeing these axes come hurling towards them? Like,
My precious hair. I've been growing this out for 120 years.
yeah, I was gonna. Well, you've just lost a huge chunk of it. Your hair is not gonna look the same. All right,
Pixie cut after
Asbjorn,
this.
Oh, you bitch.
you really need Asbjorn to miss one.
Well, stop rolling so well.
Yeah!
And there it is.
Oh.
Okay, like impacts like right above her head between two of the braids, and you hear him go, "Oh!"
Alright, here I go.
Ah! I told you!
I don't know what that was.
Natural 20!
Do you want to reroll that one? You want to use your inspiration
Yeah,
to reroll
sure.
that?
I'll use my
As
inspiration.
soon as it's you. All right, and if you picked Radovan, you won gold. So there you go. Everybody that bet on Radovan.
Woo.
Romeo's Revenge went big in on you, dude. He won 1,000 gold. He bet the max. All right, okay. With a 20, I probably should have specified this before, but I wasn't really thinking about it. Okay.
2?
So yeah, basically, it like you cut the one on the left off already, and where the two are close, because where it's close to the head, obviously they're close together. The axe lands like right across the left. The one that kind of comes up from here, and the one that kind of comes up from here, and cuts them both with the single axe throw.
Oh, shit.
So now you are one set of braids ahead.
That was so close.
Okay, and it was close because it's like right by your head. You felt the blade. It's like you can feel the blade resting against your scalp. It was so close.
Oh, my hair.
Asbjorn throws again and cuts his third braid. It is now one braid apiece to cut first. Now, so Ranavan,
I'm using my inspiration for this last.
Inspiration.
Bye.
all right.
Yeah!
You did it! Yay! And I thought you were going to totally fluff that up too. You did it without the inspiration. So there we go.
Oh.
I'm giving my inspiration back to her. I don't deserve it. I didn't use it. She should have it.
Fine. I think that's fair. There, we'll do that. Good job. Oh
Oh my god. Oh my.
Alrighty.
They're so short. Oh
So Kia is like, her head is now hanging loose, and is no longer, held to the thing. And all of them kind of like look somewhat stunned and in bewilderment at your one axe. And several of them get up and come and actually like look at where the axe is and you see this? Oh, look at this.
no. Free me, please. It's over.
They do.
Please
They
let me
untie
go.
you immediately.
I'm gonna run over to Radvan and give him a big hug. Like that was the
servant
ultimate
wench goes
trust
immediately
activity.
back to serving. Like this isn't the first time she's been through something similar,
Ooh.
And it's now that you kind of like can see that some of the serving girls have really short hair.
Oh.
and she had long hair still.
Yeah.
So he, Asbjorn walks over and looks at you and he says, "You're through, well?
So did you.
I should have used my other hand. Then I wouldn't have missed." And with that, Ulfric says, but if Odin's will was that he was telling the truth, he would have missed as surely as he cut 2 braids with 1 throw. It is clear Odin was on the side of this man. Therefore, I believe you. I believe you did not kill the priest and steal the symbol from him, and that this armor you took from a dead man that you did not kill yourself.
Thank you. I sense we're not done, however.
No, we have other things to do. But this is not a matter for me. This is a matter for Gondar Hembrook. He will be fetched from the hills.
Who? Sorry?
What?
Gondar Hembrook,
Who's that?
the man that owns the amulet that you took. He studied under Gondar. Gondar is a high priest of Odin.
Ah.
I see.
Your friend does not believe that Odin has power, does not believe that the circumstance that we just witnessed was... Think about it. You said yourself you had never thrown an axe before. Asbjorn, my son, is a skilled warrior. He is a Hurskar. And yet somehow, your arm was blessed and you were able to defeat him, proving yourself true. Do you not believe that this was only possible by the will of Odin?
Well,
It was definitely an act of God.
Or, as we said before, maybe your Sid Cuthbert is indeed the same as Odin. It's the same man. So, under this circumstance, do you not believe this is a true way of testing what is true and what is false?
Let me think about it.
You need to think. You do not believe what you saw and witnessed with your own eyes and the power you felt in your own arm? Or do you too believe that this entire thing is stupid?
I would never say it's stupid, Jarl.
But do you believe that Odin had the power to decide who was right and who was wrong here today? Whether you choose to believe it or not, Odin blessed you and gave you the power and the ability to defeat my son in this contest, to prove that you were telling the truth.
I have seen. To me, the gods have shown themselves in other ways, and they have not. The contest of combat seems more akin to the skill of the person. It's not saying your ways are wrong, and I will never say that.
Definitely plays a part, but at the end of it, the gods will decide. Even the most skilled person will falter and make a mistake, and the unskilled combatant will become lucky and strike a critical blow.
That is true. You are correct.
This would work.
You are right there.
But
that
your
is true.
friend does not believe this.
She
does not believe in the power of the gods. Therefore,
she is. Sorry. Continue.
Gondor will come and test her. He will cast a miracle or demand a miracle from Odin. If this miracle does not kill her, maybe she is telling the truth.
My friend Marlo is a fighter from a distant lands, and she believes in the power of self more than the power of gods.
Yes, this is true.
It is.
That makes sense.
It has caused a lot of strife between her and me.
If
Fair enough.
her person, herself, is more powerful than Odin.
In the meantime, is she to stay in the hole?
Yes, there's no reason for her to be anywhere else.
And ourselves?
We have other things to discuss. Unless you would like to go fetch her. If you wish to go fetch her, I suppose you can. I would not want
fetch
her
her.
to die from hypothermia before we have the opportunity to prove to her that Odin is a just and powerful god.
Thank
We
you.
will go fetch her.
All right. As you walk over, the two guards look. They start to follow you, and he said, "No, they can go. I think we have proven to them that as long as they behave themselves, we will behave ourselves. And besides, Odin watches them. This man proved to be telling the truth, so we will test his words. Do you promise to us that you will go and free your friend and come back? You will not try to escape or run?
We will not do any of the sort.
Good. If you do, we will kill Vidar instead."
Understood.
Oh, God.
Beecham, what? Please don't take
Fair
too
enough.
long.
So Kia and I are gonna leave, I guess. And I'm gonna wink at Vidar.
Right.
As I pass.
The two guards instead come and sit either side of Beecham, dangerously close, and just look at him. And you can just see him looking so awkward and uncomfortable. Alright, okay. So you head
As
outside.
Wait.
Alright.
As we leave and exit, right when we get outside the door's closed, I'm gonna turn to Radovan and grab onto his hands. Be like, that was a rush, wasn't it?
Oh, what a rush.
Do you have your hood up or down?
Probably down.
Well, now, basically, she has got,
Okay.
these huge... It's like she's got these bizarre patches of hair missing.
So lucky
here
he
and
didn't hit
here
an
and
ear.
Here and here.
Oh my God.
So after
That's
Kia
quite
says it,
ridiculous.
after Kia says it, hands still together, I'm gonna say, "You still look fucking beautiful," and I'm just gonna go to the hole without another word, just walk awkwardly away after I say it to free
Okay.
Marla.
As you do so, one of the guard, he hurls the key behind you, and you feel like something metal hit you in the back. And you kind of turn around and see a big metal ring with a key on it. You'll need
the
this
key.
if you're going to get her from the hole.
Right. Thank you.
The cops are coming for me. I gotta go. Bye.
Suddenly a black and white comes blasting through the snow. 4 cops leap out.
Fucking Holy Grail all over again.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk kind of behind Radovan, just blushing the whole time.
He says he's got one.
Also, I'm gonna put my hood up now.
Okay. Alright, so Marlo, you suddenly see Radovan and Kia peering down the hole at you. For a moment you're like, oh great, they're fixing to get pushed in here as well.
comfy?
Sure. Glad to see you're not dead.
Come on back up. I'm gonna take the key and unlock it. Open the
Why? Is it my turn now?
gate. Just
Your
get
turn.
up here.
Your turn's tomorrow, it would seem. But I was successful in my trial.
I can see
See,
that.
look! I'm gonna take my hood off. Back on.
Kids invented a new hairstyle.
So why am I getting let go if I don't do it till tomorrow?
Warmth of lodging, food, company?
They're really okay with that after I basically told them their god was full of shit.
Yeah, they're not okay with that. That was stupid.
It's not untrue.
Well, I don't believe in their god, but
Oh, I believe that Odin exists, just like I believe Cuthbert exists. And I believe they're both very powerful. I just don't choose to follow.
well, maybe saying that in the lodge will go a long way, regardless of what tomorrow brings.
I don't
Just-
need to explain myself to them. They don't
Okay.
explain their ways to me.
Well,
They
are-
had no chill whatsoever when it came to when I said that, which is understandable, but can't
So-
deal with people like that. So
You're just gonna stay down there?
Come on up, please, Marlo. I don't want you to be alone here.
Come on, do it for me, please. I feel safer with you by my side, regardless of what's said sometimes.
I need some muscle by me, not this guy.
I'm gonna come up, but I do not look
this
happy.
guy.
I just smile at him. Still kind of in an adrenaline type mood.
Alright, let's return before they kill
Okay.
Beecham.
Oh,
Price
come
of
on,
our
now.
freedom
There
movement.
could be a possible, possible bonus by letting them kill Beecham. Come back right at the last minute. Oh, we're back.
We return to the lodging.
Alrighty. Okay. Back to the lodge. Okay. Alright, so you re-enter. It's early afternoon still right now. Okay, you can pretty much, if you want to talk to anybody, by now the Jarl and his wife are back over at their table. Everyone's still drinking. Most people have stopped eating, but some people are still picking and snacking food as they do so. Beecham looks noticeably relieved as you walk back in.
So
I
you
just
said
moved
the
right
Jarl.
around, sorry.
You
Are
said
these
you-
benches or water troughs over here by the door?
Those are water troughs.
Thought I'd ask before I sat in one.
Splosh. Yeah, basically it's like, you've seen these guys, when they get food and stuff in their beard, they just walk over, stick their head down, splash the water up into their face, and then that's their way of washing themselves.
Did I
So-
find Cal?
Yeah, Cal's over here on the wood block.
So I'm gonna. Did you said the Jarl left, or is he still there?
No, he's here. He's gone back up to the end of his table.
Okay. So I'm gonna sit down next to Beecham and see if the Jarl wants to talk to me again, because he said we had some other things to talk. So I'd answer the summons if it was the case.
He's not summoning you. Just if you want to talk to him about anything else, you can do so.
Okay.
As it stands
What
right
to
now,
discuss, Radovan?
you're kind of technically prisoners still, but not under lock and key because I haven't decided what they want to do with you yet. Primarily because you're interesting to him.
Radovan,
Yeah.
the thing you mentioned about the dead, they reacted to that. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I did.
I think that we should prod a little bit more on that.
Well, if their lands has really been going barren, forcing them to need to relocate, I mean, what if that's what happened to like it did in Arconis, you know?
Right, maybe we can undo this somehow. We need to try to get it out of him. But I don't know how. He's hard to talk to.
Well, we can do it after the trial tomorrow that Marlowe has to do, or we can try for it now. I mean, it's something to have in our back pocket at least, right?
Right.
I mean, would he be more inclined to talk to us after what happens to Marlowe is resolved, or what do you think, Beecham?
You've kind of solved your problem, so unless you create any others, who's probably willing to talk to you about anything you want to talk to, you bear in mind he can answer all your questions and do everything you want and still order you killed in the morning. When he sleeps on it, once he gets bored of us, he may well have us all killed. You know, you were adamant that you didn't kill his comrades, therefore he wanted to find out whether that was the truth, which he has done.
What's the Jarl's like mood? Can you tell? Is he frowning a lot, or is he in his
seems
old?
to always be frowning, but sometimes he's got a grin on his face, and you know he's very fond of raising his eyebrows up and down.
Okay. What else did you want to discuss with him besides the dead?
Well, I mean, honestly, I just want him to stop these guys to stop going south and killing lowlanders and having that be a threat.
Well, I'm not sure if just approaching that directly with him is going to do anything. I think if anything, trying to help him with this other problem might somehow lead to it in a different way.
Well, I mean, they obviously have a cleric of their own, a priest of their own. So, if we're going to talk about the dead at all, should probably be with the cleric, you know?
Yes. Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm over here telling Cal, I hate these people. This was a mistake. I don't want to be here.
He's like, yeah, me too, me too.
Have they fed you?
He's like, oh, I've managed to steal plenty. They drop a lot.
Yeah, but you don't know what's been on this floor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna approach the Jarl. I'm just gonna sit and enjoy the company of Beecham and Kia.
Okay.
Let time go by.
Right, well in that case, it goes on into the evening. By evening time, there are probably 3 times as many Vikings as there are in here. In fact, there's so many of them, they barely fit. And it starts to get incredibly loud, incredibly rowdy, and incredibly violent. At some point, a fight breaks out, and one of them kills another. One of them ends up killing another Valkyrie, and they kill each other, and they drag the body outside. And there's probably now 2 corpses in that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's a very insightful thing. Go ahead and seeing as you guys are all going to witness you pretty much are witnessing more or less a full day in the life of these people. We're going to let you do something. You're going to make a dice roll.
Yay!
Okay, so...
Don't forget to give Shaggot his 20 as well.
Oh yeah, I owe you a 20, don't I? I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
reminded me, because I would have forgot.
Oh, that beautiful fucking 20.
There you go. Thank you. Okay, so any of you that care to can basically make a gather information roll for today.
Yup, definitely doing that.
Okay, Kia with a 13. Radovan with a 7.
Yay.
And I'm gonna pass because I don't think that Marlo's in a state of mind where she gives a shit. So.
Okay, all right then. Okay, so Radovan, I mean, you you deem what you want to glean from what you've seen so far.
Got it.
Kia, clearly, you gather a little bit more. They're willing to kill each other over stupid things. So, what you people would consider stupid things. One of the fight breaks out basically because he picks up the wrong mug of ale. The other one goes to take it from him, and he's like, "That's mine." And he's like, "The hell it is!" And he pushes him. He punches him. He pulls out a knife. He pulls out an axe, and the one with the knife ends up gutting the one with the axe.
Jeez.
And no one cared. Like, oh, shit happens.
It's crazy.
So it's like if they have that much disregard for their own life and their own kin, how do they view anybody else? You know what I mean? So it kind of gives you a sense of mortality. Like they really have there is nothing keeping us alive other than our ability to not become boring or whatever. Like you really do feel like at this point, if you can't offer them something, or they get tired of you, they're gonna kill you. Like they're not gonna let you go. It's pointless. Why would they bother? Life means nothing to them, literally. So they're that willing to kill a comrade. It makes you realize we really don't have a shot at survival if they deem that we're no longer useful for anything. So are you guys going to basically just wait and see what they do next?
When it gets close to the time we would rest, I'm going to approach the Jarl again if he's still there.
Well, most of these are falling down drunk and sleeping here. They're like sleeping on the floor, on the benches. A few of them leave to go to their huts and homes, but it seems like a fairly common thing that a lot of them just sleep here. Like they don't even bother to leave. So, but yeah, after a while, half of them are either too drunk to stand or stay, or nodding and snoring in their, on the benches, or they've gone and laid up against a wall or whatever.
I guess we're staying here, guys.
That's fine. It's better than the pit.
Yeah, that's really your only other option.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get up, go to this trough, and clean myself as much as I can with the water there. And then basically I'm just gonna sit down in this corner with my eyes to everybody and try to go to sleep.
Okay. Beecham is gonna just pop himself down here underneath the stairs to try to be kind of inconspicuous as best he can. Alright, so you guys are all just gonna rest it up through the night?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. You're woken bright and early as they all start to stir and go outside to pee and do whatever and splash water on their faces and wipe the sleet out of their eyes, and most of them go outside for a little while early. The Jarl and his wife disappeared upstairs last night, but eventually they come back down in the morning. And the fires are all kind of still covered in embers, and very quickly the wenches are running around, loading up, grabbing firewood and throwing it on, and getting the fires going again and stoking them back up, so that once again there's two huge blazing fires going within about 30 minutes.
Okay. Get up and just wait patiently.
All right.
Try to pray and prepare. And not much else we can do.
You all start eating breakfast again?
Yeah.
And after you've all had time to eat or whatever, Ulfric Albrickson yells down that he goes, "Red Oven?
I'm gonna immediately get up and
you all
scurry over.
Bring your friends. Come. You too, Vidar. Vidar, come. So James Beecham comes wandering over. He says, "Today is Thursday. We have many things to do. We have quarrels to sort, grievances to listen to, plans to make. So we have things to do this morning. So," and he looks at you, Marlowe, and he says, "So you believe that our way of life here, our belief in our gods, and the ability for our gods to define the truth from falsehood is laughable to you? It is a joke? Yes?
Not at all.
Then why did you say that you did not believe that Odin could possibly determine who was telling the truth?"
Well, understand, I believe that Odin exists, just like I believe that Cuthbert exists.
But they do
I
not
believe
have,
they're both very powerful.
But they don't have the power to tell if a man is lying?
Well, sure.
So then why would you believe that they would not let us know this?
Because that wasn't you asking your god, that was a display of skill.
You did not witness what happened. If you had, maybe you would believe differently. My son, Asbjorn, skilled as he is, his arm missed one shot, which even though he was using his left hand, and he is skilled with his right, he missed one time. Your friend, who had never thrown an axe in his life, managed to perform something that has only been done in these halls 3 times since I've been alive. He cut 2 braids of hair with one throw. He has no skill whatsoever, so you believe this is just blind luck? Or perhaps it is more ordained that either his god wanted to see him walk away from this place alive, or maybe
I
Odin,
believe he probably did have help from Cuthbert.
and we believe that Cuthbert is indeed probably Odin.
I don't believe that he succeeded because he was telling the truth.
So you think his god would have helped him if he was lying?
I don't think it had anything to do with whether he was lying or not.
So then why do you think his god would have guided his hand and helped him in a falsehood? Is his god somebody of disrepute? Is it a vicious god? Is it Loki? Maybe this is it. Maybe St. Cuthbert is Loki and not Odin.
I don't know.
Trickster?
Radovan follows Cuthbert, so Cuthbert helps him out every once in a while. You follow Odin, so he does the same for you.
My god is of law, order, wisdom, common sense, honesty.
Honesty. So would your god have helped you if you were telling a lie?
Probably not, no. I don't think he would.
He would not have assisted you if you were lying?
No.
And do you know this about his god? Do you know his god is one of truth and honesty?
I don't know a lot about Cuthbert, honestly.
Well, does your friend tell the truth? Is he a liar? Is he an honorable
Sometimes.
man? Sometimes. And has he lied before in your presence and unfortunate things have happened because of these lies?
He's never lied.
Unfortunate things? I guess once or twice, but he's also lied in my presence and nothing happened.
Yeah. I didn't lie. There are lies and then there are lies. This lie was something that was to determine whether or not you would live or die. This is perhaps something that his god would have cared enough about to be involved in, as I believe Odin wanted us to know the truth, so he would have been involved in this also.
Sure.
So, but you still do not believe that the gods have the ability to influence these sort of contests?
Not with me.
Not with you. So you believe that you are impervious to the wills of the gods? That if a god wishes to impose his power upon you, he has not the ability to do so?
Oh no, I'm sure he does. It's just I don't think that he would positively influence me in any way, and he would only negatively influence me if someone cursed me or so. The truth is, I don't choose to follow a god. I do not choose to ask for their help. I believe in myself. I'm not going to ask them to do things for me. I'm going to do them myself.
I see. Well,
Not that it's wrong for any of you to do that. That's fine. You're not me.
so this is interesting. Soon you will be in front of a person that has communes directly with Odin many times. He is
Okay.
a high priest of the old ways. He will come here and he will ascertain if you are beyond the influence of the gods or not.
Okay. That isn't really what I said, but okay.
Well, we will see what he says. He is the authority on all things of a religious nature. And when he comes, we will consult him. He is, after all, the expert. But I am still
All
the
things
Jarl.
of the religious nature are just Odin.
He is a very learned man. He studies
Well-
many things. He has traveled outside of these lands numerous times. He will know if this Saint Cuthbert of yours. I have not heard this name, but perhaps he has.
What do you know about Byhues?
I do not know what a Baihu is, but you can ask him if he feels like he knows this information. He wishes to give it to you. Perhaps he will.
Okay, I look forward to meeting him.
Is there anything else you want to do, or you just want to wait for that
Oh.
to happen?
I am totally silent right now. I'm just gonna wait.
All right, I'm just going to do something. I need to grab someone real quick.
Ooh.
Do indeed. Of course, it would help if I could find my darn token. Alrighty. Okay, so basically you guys can go and sit back at your bench and discuss anything you want to discuss while you're waiting for the High Priest to show back up.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Are we really prepared for what's about to happen, Marlo?
Nothing's gonna happen to me. We're gonna talk to the high priest. He might give us some information. Some useful
He's gonna
information.
cast some spell on you that's gonna hurt you a lot. That's my guess. To see if you get influenced.
See, that's just it. I never said that I couldn't be influenced by a god. I'm not going to question whether or not the gods are powerful. They obviously are. I've seen Radovan bring me back from the dead. However, I am not going to seek a boon of a god.
Right. As you say that, so you hear like some quiet footsteps that are accompanied with a and from behind you, you can see a aged man with a long kind of like green hood. He's carrying like a staff with a skull on top of it. And he moves over to you and he looks at you and he says, "You have been brought back from the dead? Is that
Oh,
what
yeah.
you said?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be seated. You're an important religious figure to these people, and I'm going to stand up.
To these people. What do you mean, these people?
Alrighty. Well, he walks over to you. He reaches into his underneath his cloak and pulls out what appears to be a very similar symbol to the one that Radovan was waving around earlier, or had, and the Jarl was. And he holds it and he hands Beecham his staff. Like, hold this. Fine. And just grabs hold of it. He holds the item in his left hand, and then you see him move his hands around and point up to the sky, and then he reaches out as if he's going to touch you.
I would have relocated as Marlowe got up.
Okay.
And we'll be doing a spellcraft check to see what he's casting, if he is casting.
Alrighty. Okay, yeah, I'll tell you what he's casting. Second. I think the name of the spell is probably the same for this one. Okay, he is casting a Zone of Truth spell.
No? Yeah.
On Marlowe. So basically, if you wish to lie, you can do so by making a willpower check. If you don't want to lie, then you can just tell the truth.
Okay.
So, alright, so he reaches out and he says to you, and the rain, it lasts for a while, so.
Yeah.
Right, so he looks at Marlowe and he says, "Who brought you back from the dead?"
Radovan asked his god, St. Cuthbert, to bring me back.
St. Cuthbert. And he kind of starts looking at you, and then he what happened there? Kind of like pokes you a little bit, like on the shoulder. Just not hard, just like a little bit of a push. And he looks at you, grabs your hands and looks at your fists. And he says, "You have seen many wars, many raids, much battle, and you are alive, and you are well, yes?"
Yes.
With that, he just kind of like walks straight past you and walks over to Radovan. He says, "You, a follower of the Cudger, is this right?"
I am, yes.
"And your god saw fit to bring this person back alive?"
We had an important mission to do that required her, and her death was in the name of the cause of our mission, and so saw fit to revive her.
Do you know of Odin? Loki? Thor?
I've never heard those names before. No.
So you are not a well-traveled or learned priest? You confine yourself to your own teachings and doctrines and religions? Is this right?
I have been within the kingdom of Arconis, where I'm from, for most of my life. We traveled a little bit out of the way for part of our mission long ago to a desert of Lanthan, which technically is in Arconis, but not really. And this is the latest excursion, the first time I've really left the borders.
Tell me, you have prayed to St. Cuthbert many times to heal this person.
I have.
Her wounds, to bring her from the dead.
Yes.
And then he kind of looks at you and he looks at Marlowe. He says, "With all these miracles that you have witnessed, with a god that has the power to strengthen one's arm, heal one's wounds, force one to tell the truth, call lightning from the sky, send servants down to a battlefield to help his soldiers, the faithful of his religion. And from what I understand, with all of this being the case, you do not believe that a god has the ability to influence a simple contest to determine truth or non-truth. Is this right?
Not sure. It can do all that. It can do something as easy as influence a simple contest.
And yet, from what I understand, yesterday you stood here and insulted all these men and all these people by casting aspersions on their beliefs. Pray tell, if you wish to renounce the... I understand there are many atheists, so if you wish to renounce the existence of gods, you can do so.
I'm not an atheist.
But if you wish to renounce that they can do such things, you may do so right now. Or you can accept that these gods have the ability to determine what is true and what is not true.
Well, they absolutely do. That's why you cast Zone of Truth.
So once again, then why would you find it so difficult to believe that St. Cuthbert or Odin or both were involved in what transpired here yesterday to prove that your friend was telling the truth? Or is it perhaps that you believe something different? Let me ask you a question. Was the contest results, as far as you are aware, were they accurate?
No.
They were not accurate. So,
No.
So in fact, what you're telling me is that Evan did not just find the Himthiki and Hurskar and my apprentice priest in the snow. He in fact did indeed kill him and take it from him.
No, he didn't kill them. I did. I told you that. Or I told them that.
I see. And you see him kind of look up to the Jarl and just nods. He says, well, then it appears that my services are no longer needed.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Have you heard of the Baihu? They said you're well learned and traveled.
A Baihu? I do not know of such a name.
Thank you.
Right, he kind of looks at Relevan and he says, you will understand what must happen next, yes?
Honestly, I do not.
Well, I wish you no ill. I have found the followers of St. Cuthbert to usually be very truthful and honorable, much as you were here today, and as Odin demonstrated.
So what does that mean for us?
Well, you are indeed innocent of killing our kin, but your friend here, by her own admission, did so. I
Okay.
cannot assist in this matter. This is a matter for men, not gods.
It's not wrong, Radovan. I mean, they attacked us. I did what I had to do to protect us.
And he begins to slowly walk towards the door.
Wait.
Yes? You have something for me?
There's a problem going on with the dead. Am I not wrong?
Well, he kind of like shuffles back over to you very quickly. And he says, they told you of this?
No, we encountered a few
Get closer so I could listen.
when we were traveling up here to meet with the Jarl. And we heard that you have some barren lands to the northwest, that has caused you to need to move and relocate.
These are the need to relocate is this is a matter for Jarls and Thanes and Skulls, not of priests.
But is this not the cause? Is this the reason for the need?
There is no need. as far as I am aware, there is no discussion or conversations about relocating our home.
Well,
Are they threatening your home in any way? Because that's not right. This is your land.
The dead threaten all that are living.
well,
They were dishonorable in life. This is why they have come back cursed. This is why they are the way they are. None of them were buried properly. They were discarded. They were the most untrustworthy, dishonorable ones amongst us.
with the reason we are here is because there are people who have lived for many generations south of here. You might know them as the Lowlanders. They have lived in peace.
Those that wear the strange cloth with the lines and colors. I've seen them.
Well, they just want to live and survive, much
And
like I am.
better than fighting. This is again matters for jarls and thanes, not for priests. I will administer the dead. I will bless my warriors before they go. If Odin deems it fit, some apprentice may travel with them. If the jarl decides that he will raid south, then he will raid south.
Do you know why one of your priests would have attacked us without provocation?
No,
It's strange. He was aided by Odin because he called upon Valkyrie, but we meant him no harm.
if he summons the Valkyrie, then indeed he had the blessing of the gods.
I just go silent. I don't want to answer that.
If you're here to plead on the behalf of these lowlanders, as you call them, you need to do it with the Jarl. I would say your best wishes to your friend here.
You don't think it's unfair for this judgment to be so ruled?
It has nothing to do with me. Again, this is a matter for Jarls and things, not priests. These are the laws of men.
You are
Odin
highly
makes the laws.
influential.
Odin allows the men to make their own laws and enact their own punishments.
If you go by their way of thinking, Radovan, if I wasn't meant to be punished for this, then Odin wouldn't allow it to happen.
No. Odin would not interfere with the punishments of all crimes amongst men. However, he would show the light to show what is truth and what is not, as he has demonstrated here this past day. If you would have stood and thrown axes, and you had indeed said that you did not kill any of the Himsiki, you would have failed in your test. Odin would have made sure of it. If you said that you did kill them, as you had just said to me, and through the axes, you would have been victorious.
You do not see the problem with... It can be very easily claimed that she was acting in self-defense from an aggressor, and is thus not guilty.
You are not in Arconis now. The laws of Arconis do not apply here. We have different laws. What one considers
Also, Radovan,
self-defense-
that's not the question of whether I did it. They're just asking if I did it.
It seems like you're asking for this punishment, Marlowe, which seems ridiculous to me.
No, I'm not asking to be killed for something I did because I had to do it.
Well,
I'm just saying
you're
that
not
wasn't
fighting
the
for
question.
yourself, Marlowe.
He's hobbling off again. Alright, and he heads out the door.
Why I did it doesn't affect if I did it or not.
Because I would think that you would want to fight for your right to stay alive.
I do, Radovan. But understand
You're not
that
fighting
isn't
for your
the
rights.
question.
It is the question. They attacked us. You defended yourself.
Yes, I did.
It's the
question
laws of
was, did I
common
kill them?
sense. It's like nature, the laws of nature. You get attacked by a wild beast, you defend yourself, you kill it, you're not in the wrong.
But did you kill it?
I'm saying if you got attacked by a wild beast and
But
you
did
killed
you
it,
kill it? It's a yes or no question, Radovan.
there's always more to it. The world's not black and white. It's never been black and white.
I agree. If the question was why. That's not something you can respond to with yes or no.
Marlo, you could always say yes, but that identifier is it meets the everything that's known to the rule of law in terms of right and wrong.
But it doesn't change the answer.
You are basically allowing yourself to be executed. What are you going to do? I'm not breaking you out of this situation.
This hasn't been asked.
What do you think he just said? Say goodbye to your friend. Wish her good luck. What do you think is going to happen
He
right
said, give me your best wishes.
Okay. You want to go see
Because obviously I'm going to be sent before them because they know that I did it.
and executed?
You're just assuming that they're not going to ask me why. I mean, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just be like, hey, you did it. We're
And
gonna
then
kill you.
what'll happen?
I'll get to that when I get there. That's beside the point, Radovan.
I think it is the point, Marlo, because
Well, you know as well as I do, you threw those axes. If it wasn't black and white, Radovan, if it's not black and white, then you killed them and you lied.
I was defending myself.
But you still did it.
We were outnumbered. I'd do it again, because we were not in the wrong in that situation. We went to them seeking peace. They attacked us. They outnumbered us.
But
As
that's
a
not what you said when he asked you,
Radovan
did you
didn't
kill them?
actually kill the priest. You did.
And yes, I did.
Yeah,
not
because I don't remember who actually
you
killed
actually
the priest.
killed
You
the priest. You
broke
broke
his
his neck. So
And I did not kill the guy I took the armor from.
no, so technically that isn't the case. Now you said they were dead when we found them. That's not true.
Exactly. You were mincing words, Radovan. It's
But did you actually? You know what he put you on trial for was to see whether or not you did or did not kill the priest. Which Odin says Odin agreed with you. You didn't kill the priest, apparently, by their reckoning.
Now, what Radovan did do, you're right, was conflate the two battle scenes. One that he partook in and one that he stumbled upon. That was where he made it a gray area.
Well, and again,
That's true.
that is exactly what it is. It's a grey area because that wasn't a lie either. You did find those Valkyrie dead. You didn't find the Valkyrie that had the holy symbol dead. So the question is that a truth or is that a lie? Well,
Oh, I get it. I see
it's
that.
somewhere between the two, isn't it? It's
Yes, it
true, but not necessarily true based on the intention of the question.
Right.
You know, but what do they say? All the best lies contain elements of truth. So
This is what Radovan used to do, was be that
so
dude.
the
She
point
did it
is you
before.
avoided telling the complete truth.
In this situation, Marlo, based on what we need to get done, of course. We would be stupid not to.
Yes, but then you did a contest that was supposed to prove whether you told the truth or not, right?
And it did prove that in that situation about what I was on trial for, I did tell the truth, which was the truth. Yes.
Do you ever think that things are complex and complicated and gray because you make them that way?
I think I'm alive for all these wonderful years of my life because the world is complicated, and to think it's simple is to be dead quickly.
Ho ho.
I will do what I can to survive because I'm operating for the greater good of what I believe in and what I'm striving for.
And what do I believe in?
I don't know. That's for you to decide, but I think this guy is fixing to execute you, Marlowe.
And you've shown what you feel about that, so that's fine. You can wait by the door. They'll let you know if I'm being executed or not, and you can do whatever it is you choose to do, Radavan.
I will be right next to you, as I always said I would be.
I'm not going to listen to anything he says, and I'm going to walk up before the Jarl to wait my punishment for saying yes to a question where the answer was yes.
All right. Okay. So you walk up to the Jarl. So
I'm gonna hang a little back.
Beecham isn't moving. He is staying the hell away. So the Jarl looks at you as he chews on a pork chop. He puts it down and says, "So, earlier on yesterday you said that you did indeed kill some of my Hemthiki, and you killed the priest,
Yes.
and Gondar Hembrook confirms this under the influence of Odin. So there is no need to put you on any form of trial. You admit it of your own free will.
Yes.
So, would you like to tell me why we should have any further more to do with you and your friends? Why we should not just be done with this and take you outside and have you executed?
Well, I don't know how your trials or your questioning works around here.
Well, usually our trials involve expecting Odin to tell us the truth, except where he has already done so. So, with the presence of Gondar Hembrook, you understand we cannot summon the priest for every little thing, so we have contests and trials that Odin presides over. But in his presence, you admitted it. He confirmed that Odin says that this is the truth, and that you indeed killed a priest of Odin, which is a grave offense, unless in time of war.
What qualifies as time of war?
Well, for us, a battle, if we are raiding, or a fight of some form where one side is to kill the other. But even
Okay,
then,
that's what this was.
so if you are victorious, you get to walk away, which is what you did, and why you are still alive. For that, what the time was part of Odin's plan. But perhaps now Odin brings you here. in front
No,
of us,
Vidar brought me here.
so that you can stand in front of all of us and admit what it is you did, so that we know what happens to our king.
Yes.
We no
why
longer
would
have to
you
look
can't
for
just
them
be
and
out in the
send
middle
out
of nowhere
groups.
attacking people, by the way?
Our scouting party was in strange lands. They do not have the ability to necessarily understand or the care to do so. Conflict is a
No,
way for
my
the
friend
Valkyrie.
Radovan can speak their language. And he told them we were no threat. They still attacked us, and I defended my friend.
I would have done the same thing. If I was in a strange land that I intended to conquer, and I met some of the people and believed that,
Conquer!
yes, this is our way. South of here, they have lands that we need for our own survival. Therefore, we will go, and we will take
Do I
it
look
from
like
them.
somebody from that land?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do I look like someone from
Do I
that land,
care?
a lowlander?
Does not matter to me. The question is that we are going to take the lands to the south. It is necessary for our survival. So that is what we will do.
Why?
Because we do not have fruitful lands here anymore. We have what we need from the sea. We have our homes. But we need fertile land to farm and grow. We cannot live off of fish and meat alone.
But why now?
Because
Why
this
not
last
before?
year, the territories that we have refused to grow harvest. Nothing will grow. No corn, no grains, no vegetables.
What
Well,
if
that-
you could help with that?
That's what we'd want to help with. It's what Kia said.
That's why we came here. To help you.
To help us. This is why you came here, specifically to assist us.
Yes.
Really.
Yes.
This
If
is
we
not
help
to
you, then
plead
we
for
are
the
helping
lives
the
of
other
those that
people
you-
down south.
It is not to plead for the lives of those that are down south, to avoid us killing them, taking their lands. That is not why you are here.
I've got to be honest with you. I never knew about the lowlanders, and I didn't really care about them or their land.
You did not know about them?
No.
Yes, Vidar says that you spent many weeks in their company. You
Oh
met
yes,
with them,
because Vidar came to us and told us about them.
So you did not know about them prior to this.
No.
So you were coming to visit us before you knew.
Oh
of the
no, no.
lowlanders?
We came to visit you after we learned about the problems up here.
And your intentions are to assist us and help us, not to
Yes.
save the lives of the lowlanders or talk us out of raids.
They're the both.
It's
They're
both.
the same.
In helping you keep your lands and get your lands back, you will not raid them, so they will be protected. It's both. Everyone wins.
And
So
you
you
don't
believe-
threaten our lands either.
So you believe that if you are able to make our lands fertile again, that we would not still attack the lowlanders? Is that what you think?
You didn't for many centuries, according to what I've heard.
But you see, we have gone to great lengths. We are building ships. I have made promises. My men are excited. They're ready.
Well,
What
they
would
seem
do
to.
For me
Well,
to
they
turn
s-
around and tell them that this is not going to happen now.
Well,
Yes.
see, we wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt that you weren't doing this just because you wanted to attack and kill people and have a war and still, like, take other people's lands, that maybe you were doing this for a reason. A bigger reason.
We do everything for a reason. But we like raiding. We like to kill. We like to war. If war...
Well, there you go,
if we
Radovan.
can
They
justify a
don't want
war,
help.
We will go to war. We do not
Well,
kill
you-
pointlessly. We do not die needlessly. But
There was a death here just the other night.
yes,
What was the point of that?
he insulted him. He had to see honor taken care of, so he killed him. This is for a reason.
You just need a small reason. That's what you're
Just
saying.
As I
the
said,
little tiniest of reasons will
These men,
suffice.
they love to fight. This is the reason that they are the greatest warriors. They are
Why
skilled
can't you
warriors.
just fight each other instead of
Yeah.
harming the innocent?
From time to time we do, as you witness. But if we travel to other lands and kill those people, we can bring back wealth. Do you see behind me? And, you know, there's like benches lined up with tons and tons and tons of loot and treasure and statues and candelabras and all kinds of stuff that clearly wasn't manufactured here. So all of this
See,
wealth-
Radovan, this is the same thing that we've been fighting the whole time we've been in this land. The lowlanders didn't want our help. The highlanders didn't want our help. The dwarves don't want our help. These people don't want our help either.
I think that's the challenge we've been
Forcing
trying to
people to
overcome,
take
this-
help they don't want.
keeping everyone happy or complicit in the lands and pockets that they own and are rightful to have.
These people aren't happy with that, Radovan.
I'm here to help Arconis. So keeping
And so
this
am I. But you know what that means now?
what?
I think you know what that means.
Share.
Sharing's not an option, Radovan.
No, share what you think it means. Because we have not been on the same page for many days now. So I don't want to put words in your mouth or assume. So,
I really, really don't think you want me to share what that means right now.
okay. If you, Jarl, if your people like to fight and like war, I have found that there's plenty of dangerous things in this land in the pockets of the world that are worthy to fight.
This is true.
This place, and obviously the other Valkyria establishments up here, clearly have families and children, right? Mothers and old people.
Yes.
Well, the Lowlanders have that as well. I think all this aggression, this desire to fight, should be utilized to clear out the other dangers of this land. The monstrosities in the mountains, the trolls, the orcs,
We have
the
done
other
this when it is
things.
necessary to do so.
Well,
But
what
they
if
do
you...
not provide us with wealth. They do
That's
not
actually not
provide us
true.
with the things that we have.
That is not true. Before we came here, we were in the mountains where the mountain dwarves were. We came across a tunnel with basilisks and stone people, and we found treasures in there. And we used it to our own ends. And you have some of it from our collections that you took from us. There's a lot of wealth in the lands that could be taken. So it's not true. There's hidden things all over this place. Treasures and the like. You tell these guys who love to fight to go out there and seek these treasures and kill horrible monstrosities, they'll get their bloodlust over with and done.
It is often how the Hinthiki prove themselves worthy to be considered something stronger, or Hurlskar, or Vanir.
And that is great. I am all for that.
But at the end of the day, wild skirmishes with strange creatures is one thing. Open battlefields with the screaming of men, the tactics of war, this is something else. And quite often, it is easier.
I have endured my fair share of battles and a war itself. In all jest, it's pointless to me. It is not something worth pursuing or wanting.
Well, this is why you people are so easily conquered. You do not train, you do not live a life where every single thing that you do revolves around it. All of this wealth that we have amassed here. I am one of the, dare I say it, one of the poorest Jarls in the north. And yet I have enough probably to purchase the settlements of these lowland folks 10 times over.
What is keeping the different Jarls from going to war with each other? You say you're the poorest, I see a lot of wealth behind you. If someone else has more, why aren't you going for them and their treasure? What is keeping you guys together?
Valkyrie.
I see.
We time to time, we raid together. Other Jarls will work with other Jarls. We will travel together. Our forces will fight together.
See, it seems to me that your definition of what a Valkyrie is can be malleable. I mean, you clearly have created deals with the the Hill Dwarves.
Because
And they are
as
clearly
a
not
benefit
Valkyrie.
to us.
Right, but how did you meet them? How did you get into an alliance with them? Why don't you do that with other people? Who knows what they might have to offer if you don't ask them?
We find what they have to offer. Once they're dead, we take it.
Well, you should have done that to the Hill Dwarves, apparently, by that logic. I don't understand where the change comes from with you.
The Hill Dwarfs, it will be costly to kill them, and they needed things from us. So, it seems more appropriate not to fight with them, to trade with them instead.
Well, what about the Mountain Dwarves?
We do not know of any mountain dwarves. We do not trade with them. We have heard only that they are not to be trusted, and that they are stubborn.
By the Hill Dwarves, no doubt.
Of course.
Well, there's bad blood between the two, I reckon.
Well,
But you
which way
trust
look
one
at
group
it.
over the other.
Right, as clearly you do too. You have a preference for the mountain dwarves. We have a preference for the hill dwarves. They have their own arguments, their own squabbles. They're not my problem.
See, this is what I know. We went to the Mountain Dwarves, and they welcomed us. They did not arrest us and throw us in a hole of shit. And you gave us a different reception that was not warranted or earned.
Oh, it's absolutely warranted earned.
No.
Your
Okay.
ingratitude for the fact that you're standing here today. living
I am
and
very grateful for still being here.
You approached our camp under cover of night, carrying weapons. This is not
Not
the
wrong.
attitudes of friendly folk. So our guards rushed out to meet you.
To be perfectly honest, I wasn't carrying any weapons, and I had my hands in front of me, but...
Same.
That's not true. There are some strange, bizarre weapons that they have in this chest that they took from you. One looked
Yes,
like
you
an
expect
axe.
me to travel through these lands that
So
I'm
you
not
just
familiar
said, though,
with
that you
and
were not
not?
carrying weapons, and yet you were carrying weapons.
Not in my
Carrying with our
hands.
hands, Jarl. We approached you. We had our hands up. Weapons were by our sides, not in use, not threateningly.
Aye.
Who
And
knows if
I suddenly was presented with an overwhelming force that I knew that I could not kill, I would probably expect you to surrender too. There were too many of them. Of course you would throw your hands up.
But that
You
is
were
exactly
caught.
what didn't happen with the Valkyrie that Marlowe defended us from.
Of course not.
With the priest, who outnumbered us.
If you had thrown down your weapons, they would not have killed you probably either, just like these ones didn't.
I put my hands in front of me just like I did with them.
Yeah.
They were entirely aggressive.
I was not there. As I said, they were not at home. They were in a hostile land. They probably felt threatened, so probably in their minds they were defending themselves.
And we weren't at home either, and we're doing the same. After they aggressed at
You
us.
seem to think that these things make... I understand you're from a different culture, but for us, this is neither here nor there. I do not blame them for attacking you openly. If you had surrendered, and they would have cut your heads off. It would have been their prerogative, as they were your captors.
But it doesn't go the other way.
Absolutely. If you had captured them, it is your prerogative to kill them. You did so. It doesn't change the fact that you did it. If I was to kill your brother because he called me a son of a whore, would you look at me and wish to kill me? Of course you would. If I said,
Yes,
"But
because
called me
he
a son
just
of a-"
called you a name. He didn't actively attack you.
If he did actively attack you, if your brother attacked me and I killed him, would you not still wish me harm?
No.
Not still wish me ill will?
Why did he attack you? Did you aggress him, or did you just approach him and show no aggression and he attacked you anyway?
You see, this is where we are different. If you had killed them and left and never come here, we would not have known. You could have walked free, but you came
So
here.
you would have rather I had lied to you.
No, I rather nothing. This is what you do not seem to understand. None of this is relevant to us. If you had not come here, we would not have known. And you would have lived a long, fruitful life. But you come here of your own free will, and you tell us that you killed them. So now you are here. So we have a we have an opportunity
this
to...
is why I don't deal well with gods.
Well, this is not between gods. This is the laws
Obviously
of us.
not, because your god has no influence over the laws of man, but he's willing to influence an axe throwing contest.
No. He was willing to demonstrate the truth. He would not have aided that man that lied. Only that was telling the truth.
Which I've already told you wasn't true.
But it was. We put your friend on trial to determine whether or not he did or did not kill the priest.
That
And then-
wasn't what was asked.
That was what he was tried for.
You asked him if he found it on on the dead body, if he found it.
Was the man not dead when he took it from him?
Oh my. You know what? Radovan, I know you said not to ask them to kill me, but I can't put up with this anymore.
Tomorrow there's going to be a trial for Marlowe.
No, there will not be a trial. There is no point in having a trial. The trial was before the priest came this morning and affirmed the guilt.
Which wasn't needed because I outright told you anyway.
You have given us no reason not to deal with you. You have been belligerent to us, which is your choice. You do not have to respect our wishes. I would not expect you to.
Respect your wishes.
I am the Jarl of this land. My word is the word that carries all power. Everything I say is relevant.
When have I not given you your wishes? I've told you the truth from the time
It is
I've
not
walked
about
onto your
truth.
land.
It is not about truth. You insulted all of us.
Which I talked with the priest about, and he clarified while I was under zone of truth that you're perfectly fine believing in your gods. I believe that your gods exist. I believe that your gods are powerful and that they can influence whatever they choose to influence. But I choose not to follow them, and that is my right.
Precisely. It is your right.
So you saying that I insult you?
You did insult
No.
us. You stood there and said you did not believe that any god had the power to influence the truth or not truth of a contest. That is an insult to all of us. Everybody in this hall heard you say it. It is an insult to the man that stands beside you.
Radavan, your god blessed you so that you could survive throwing axes at Kia and not kill her. They say that their god allowed it to happen because you were telling the truth.
I will say this.
The only person who has told the truth since we've been in this in this encampment is standing right here,
So you're
and
calling
yet
your
is the
own
one that
friends
is going to be
liars
put
now.
to death. This makes no sense on any level. And I thought I was the one who lacked intelligence. The whole world around me has gone mad.
You come here, into this hall. You tell us you killed our kin. You insult us. You think this is intelligence. Intelligence would have been to stay far away. That would have been a smart thing to do.
That's what I wanted to do from the beginning.
Then you should have done it. Then you should have done it. Intelligence would have been to come here and not mention the fact that you killed our friends. Allow your friend to tell the truth. You were not on trial.
I didn't allow my friend to tell the truth. I stepped in because I was afraid that my friend would die.
That's your choice.
I did what I had to do to protect my friends, which is all I have ever done.
And yet you just stood here and called them also telling lies. It seems
Jarl.
to me that you want all of you to die and be executed here in this
Yep.
hall.
Jarl,
It doesn't matter. You're not going to let them go anyway.
This has not been determined. I have not said this.
No, you have said it. You said that nobody, like Beecham, you made him a slave and he was allowed to live because you thought he was useful to you.
This is correct.
Tell
And
me
he is
how they're
alive.
useful to you.
At this point, it is still to be determined if he has any usefulness or not.
So if they're useful to you, they become slaves. If not, they die.
He was a slave, and then he earned himself some means of society here.
Jarl, I will just say this on behalf of my faith and what I have experienced. Getting the blessings for Cuthbert to determine an outcome has always entailed a spell cast, like your priest did. He cast a zone of truth on us, and we were within it, and he could then detect falsities in our statements. I have never personally, and I don't personally ascribe to a belief that a contest of skill, regardless of whether someone gets lucky or unlucky, I have personally never thought of that as being within the realm of my god. I'd like to think we still have some autonomy at times on the choices we make on the battlefield. To me, Cuthbert has always blessed me with the spells I have cast, and if he lets me cast a spell, that means he supports me in what I'm trying to accomplish. If he doesn't let me cast a spell, it's
As you
another
see,
thing.
this is where Odin is different.
So then perhaps they are not of the same.
And perhaps they are not. It was just
It was a
just an
speculation.
assumption. But this is where Odin is different, you see. When we are in doubt, when we are not sure, and we believe that we may or may not make a correct or incorrect decision, we ask Odin. And through a skill of arms, because this is his preference.
Fair enough.
He demonstrates to us what he believes we should know.
You must forgive us. This is an alien concept to us.
I forgive
Because
nothing. I have no need to forgive anything.
Okay, fair enough.
I just have one small suggestion, maybe to help us all out. But I'm gonna do another still spell of suggestion.
Okay.
My spell. And I'm just gonna say to him, maybe we should wait, 24 hours, since we're all a little bit confused about what's going on here. 24 hours before you make your final decision about Marlowe.
Alrighty.
Ah!
Odin doesn't want to wait.
20! Oh, it was almost a 2.
He looks at you and he says, "For what reason would we wait? If there is a reason that you believe that you should see another dawn, you should tell me. I have spoken plainly to you.
You have.
You have come to our territory. You are in our way of life. You live purely by my will to allow it, and nothing else. This is not a matter for gods. It is not a matter for customs. It is not a matter for choices or whims. It is simply a fact. If I wish to have you killed, you will be killed. If I do not, you will not be killed."
If there's one thing that I have learned in all my time, is that fighting can, I imagine some people find it fun, some people find it fulfilling. But with every person who dies, there is an opportunity or opportunities lost. We have a lot of clout. You might not see it in the immediate future about what we can bring to you as a group, but if you kill us outright, you are forsaking any potential future
So
where
what is
you
it
could
that
be
you
richly
can do?
rewarded.
What is it that you could do for me in the future?
Well, we are nobles of Arconis. We have a high standing with the nobility and the king himself. I imagine
You imagine that perhaps if we held you for ransom, that they may pay handsomely for your return?
I do
Imagine
not-
we could just help you figure out your problems with your farming. Fix your soil.
Well,
Somehow.
you mentioned this before, and I asked you how would you do this?
We need to examine it first. Find the problem. Then we can provide answers.
And this was something you should have said before?
Marlowe is very vital to that process. She has much knowledge.
She does not seem to have much respect for you or your friends.
Can you show us your farmlands first? I promise we can help.
So, what do you think it could be? And if so, how can you help? What power do you have to make it to where acres and acres and tracts of land that cannot produce anything suddenly can? Do you have the ability to do this? Do you believe you do? When our own high priest, Gundar, has prayed to Odin, and the prayers have not been answered?
Perhaps the answer to his prayer is us coming. You never know. We must determine whether the farmland is destroyed naturally or by an unnatural cause. After that, if it is one or the other, we will figure out exactly what it is and, just solve the problem. I'm gonna look at Radovan, like, right?
I'm nodding. What have you got to lose?
The three of us together, plus Beecham, forget Beecham, are very good at this type of problem. If we lose one of our members, I'm not sure how far we can get in the process.
Do you have any idea how you would do this?
Well,
Several.
we have encountered a creature, as I said before, long before all this, that poisoned the lands that it occupied or lived near. Slaying said creature would possibly purify the lands. If there's another external source, possibly having to do with the dead that you have had not a trouble with, but had to deal with, they are well known to corrupt and make lands unsalvageable. There's such lands where in Arconis it's called the Fields of Sorrow, and it has been tainted by the dead of many wars past and is unsustainable itself. Find the cause, possibly clear the lands up.
As you're saying that, he yells to the back of the room. He says, "Handrissing Gondar! Handrissing Gondar!" And the two at the end of the room leave and go outside. And about 5 minutes later, they come back in with the priest, Gundar. And he comes wandering. He says, say what you just said in front of him too. What you said about the dead.
If the dead is the cause for the barren lands, there might be a source that is contaminating it that we could possibly remove and clear for you, thus purifying the land. There are spells that can do it too, but they're costly, and I would rather find the source of the bad instead of trying to utilize a lot of resources to clear for the good.
He looks at him and he says, Gundar, an Distrikt und in Jarl bist und dann ist Ariston. And he looks at him, he says something else. And he looks back at him, and they seem to be in deep thought, like pausing. Där är någon som en dragar. Visst. Under stino något like some dragar. Do you believe it is possible that somehow the dragar are responsible?
Well, if we try to ascertain where they're coming from, we could possibly find a source. Or are they just wandering around willy-nilly, for lack of a better phrase?
Right, so Gundar says, you see, Draugr are disgraced warriors with no honor. They died. They were not given a proper burial. They did not die with a weapon in their hands, so they were not able to enter the halls of Valhalla. And through some strange and unknown reason, they have risen from their graves. We are forbidden to kill them. The Valkyrie are not permitted to kill them. It is against our wishes. It is against our way.
Is it against your way for others to kill them,
No.
such as us?
It is indeed the hope that others do kill them. But for some reason, they will never attack or enter a Valkyrie settlement. They do not come here. We believe Odin keeps them free, or keeps them away. They live in fear of Odin's power, but they roam free in the wastelands outside.
And your establishments do not extend to the lands that you used to farm?
Well, they do.
Well, okay,
But
so
they are not settlements. They are open tracts of land.
when did this problem begin?
Last year, we planted seeds in the spring, and There was no harvest. Nothing grew. Not a thing. Not so much as a shoot.
So
Soil went black. It lost all fruitfulness.
and
The food and vegetables that we have now, we've taken from others.
a year ago there was the war, obviously down south.
Yep.
And it was 2 years before that the whole purple shit happened. I mean, 2.5 years, right? Give or take?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to put a timeline in my head.
Yeah, your timeline's right.
Okay. Well, we have dealt with corrupted lands down south. Not us personally, but we heard stories of others who did. And it is of a magical corruption. So it is possible that if you let us deal with this problem for you, we can clear your lands.
Right, with that, he slams his skull staff down on the Jarl's table really loudly. And he looks at the Jarl, he says, In try Jedeman, and Kostra Odin, and Drager, ins valiant Jarl. And he nods, and he looks at you, and he says, So, you, with your own words and own choice, wish to go and deal with this situation without us asking you to do so? You wish to do it?
If it will mean the safety of Beecham, Marlowe, Kia, and myself, I would love to extend it to those to the south, but I have a feeling that's a little out of range.
This will not lead to your safety. It will put you directly in harm's way.
But it is harm's way that we can substantiate to show you what we can do for you and our intentions.
So you are willing to do this?
I am a cleric of St. Cuthbert. The dead are my enemy. I have sworn to fight them. I will not, however, speak for anyone else but myself.
So he looks at Kia and he says, And you?
I am here to forge any kind of alliance I can, and this seems to be a way to do it.
This is not about alliances. This is about your willingness to go of your own free will, without coercion, to
No
do so,
coercion necessary. I will follow Radovan in anything he does.
regardless of the outcome. If I was to say, when you are finished, you will come back here and we will execute you, would you still do it? Would you still do it? Would you do it because you believe it is the right thing to do?
To rid the world of the dead, it's always the right thing to do.
And he looks at Marlowe and he says, And you? Whether or not we need to execute you tomorrow or a week from now or 2 weeks from now, is this something you would wish to do?
I follow my friends. I do what they tell me to do.
Indeed. Then you may be able to help us.
Very well.
But you will take Vidar with you?
We will need our belongings back.
All of them?
Unless you expect us to venture out there with
No,
not but
I
our...
would expect you to want your weapons. So I will give you back your necessary weapons. And I will hold your
Okay.
wealth and money here until you return.
Not all the things that you would believe to be wealth is wealth. They are tools that we utilize in our fight to survive. I have no problem with you keeping all the gold that I have. I don't care about that. But the rings, they help me.
No, fair enough. You can have some. We will just keep all your wealth, all your monetary wealth, All your gems, all your jewels, anything of value, we'll keep it here. If it's something you must have, you can take it. If you do not
The gemmed
return,
cat.
if you do not return, we will keep it. If you do not return, you would be wise never to return here again, ever. Because if you do, we will kill you.
I get that sense. Don't worry, we will
But
steer clear.
if you go and you help us and you solve this problem, then perhaps we will not kill you. Perhaps
Okay.
we will not have reason to. But unfortunately, I cannot extend the same to those that are to the south. We have already spent a vast fortune in preparing ships and boats, and I have made promises that I cannot go back on.
Very
Alright.
well.
So unless you have a way to reimburse of great wealth to them, to my men, so that they are not feeling that they are cheated by our agreement, otherwise they will march south, with or without our lands being prepared or fixed. They will head south, and we will pillage.
Understood. Is there a timetable that we can operate off of here?
No,
It's just at your whim. I understood.
go and do what you feel you must do. If I get tired of waiting, we will. Well,
Can you
I have
direct
a
us
better
to an...
idea. You have until the ships are built.
Great.
We'll be
Can you
building
direct
3 of
us?
The ships outside. How long do you reckon that'll be?
Yeah.
them? Oh, several months.
Oh,
We had no plans on raiding before the summer. It's just too cold.
good to know.
We learned the hard way from Vidar, you know.
But we will travel south as soon as the first thaw begins.
Okay.
So you have until then.
We will be back before then, I believe. Hopefully with good news.
Very well. We'll have your belongings taken to the edge of the town of Bragoros. It will be returned to you there. They will not be returned to you while you're here in this establishment.
And where do we need to go specifically? And is there a way to get there that will not have us encounter more of your kin?
No.
Us? No?
Can I have my cup back, please?
A cup.
There
Is it-
was a small clay cup.
Oh, yes. I have no need for it. If it does not have
Thank
any
you.
value, I do not have a reason to keep it. But you will travel from here. You'll travel east to the Valley of the Jarls. It is where all the dead Jarls are buried. There is a tomb inside the mountains. This tomb has been violated. It has been opened. I believe, or should I say, Gondor believes, that whatever is responsible for the Draugr coming back to life is connected to this tomb. We are forbidden to go in it. It would be considered sacrilege for us to do it. And it is forbidden for us to force people to do it. We cannot send slaves or people under duress. So you must go because you wish to go under your own free will and not because of us. This is why it's important that I asked you the questions that I did. But if you go there on your own free will and solve the problem and can make our lands fertile again, there is a fair chance that I will be willing to let you live and live here. Even the fact that you killed our friends, after all, I'm sure it was self-defense. I would have done it. I just wouldn't have been stupid enough to go back to their family and tell them I did it. Honesty is an admirable quality. I admire it on all of my men. But I lie frequently because it is necessary for me to do so.
Okay.
Well then, I see we have a reason to feast tonight. will have a great feast and send you off on your way. You will go to the Valley of the Jarls. You will find whatever it is that is raising these creatures or these disgusting fallen soldiers of ours. Those that could not keep their word, those that lie and cheat and steal and are cowards. Those that fled the field of battle, who were buried in shallow graves outside of all of the areas of our own. They were not permitted proper sacred burial, did not get to the walls of Valhalla. You'll find them, many of them, roaming in that direction. Kill as many as you can. After all, if you don't, they will kill you. And there may be other things that this strange curse has done. If it can bring back the dead and prevent all life from growing on huge tracts of land, who knows what else it could do?
Well,
There is
we will
only one
find
thing
out.
I must tell you. Odin will be watching. If you steal or desecrate from the Tomb of the Jarls, if you so much as take a single coin of the value that belongs to the Jarls, you'll be cursed forever.
Really? Okay, that's good to know.
I'm gonna look at Beecham if he's around. He's
Beecham's
not.
at the other end of the table. He come
Yeah.
nowhere near this whole mess. His original
He's
intention
smart.
was someone's going to die here, and I don't want to be there when he gets mad and starts killing people.
All right. Okay. I'm just gonna nod.
Alright, yeah, let's get out of here, please.
Get the fuck out of here.
Please.
Well,
This is
we'll
very
eat
nice.
and sleep and.
Filthy! You can be our friends this evening. Yes, we have no more ill feelings at the moment.
Yeah!
You can eat and drink and leave in the morning if you wish. Or if you feel that you have overstayed your welcome, you can leave now. And I will
No,
have
we'll-
some of my men carry the chest with all your belongings to the edge of the town.
Okay. Now we're tomorrow, my Lokia.
I think now.
We'll leave right away.
I'm gonna glance at Marlo. We should get out of here now.
All right. So we're gonna leave now. Jarl.
Very well. Right, with that, Gundar says, would it offend you if I blessed you in Odin's name for your journey?
That's fine with
It would be
me.
something that I think would be very beneficial for you to do.
Can I do a knowledge religion check to see if?
Well, not until he does it.
No,
well, you actually can do a
to see
knowledge
if-
religion check, I guess. But considering as you don't really know anything about this religion by your own admittance,
No. I
what are
wanna
you
know
trying to figure out?
if Cuthbert will have a problem with me being blessed by another god, basically. I mean,
Technically, no. As long as you don't, long as it's not a bad god, and as long as you don't, long as it
Well,
doesn't
see, that's the
enable
thing.
you to do something bad.
I don't know if it is a bad god because I don't know much about Odin. So
Me neither.
the guy did summon Celestials, even though what I know about Celestials possibly not being good all the time.
Good is a objective thing.
So I'm actually gonna decline and say I will bless myself, thank you. But if Kia wants one, that is
I'll
fine.
take one just so I don't offend him.
Says, Vidir, Vidir, come up here. So Vidir comes up. He says, Gondai Hembrook will give you a blessing in the name of Odin. He's like, oh, okay, absolutely. And he kind of looks at, you know, Kia's facing Radovan, he's right behind Keedley, and he goes, probably shouldn't offend them.
It's fine. Get blessed.
And Marlo's already headed down to the door. So, he says, your friend, does she wish to be blessed by Odin? Or no?
I think she'll pass.
Very well. So, this Vidir and you, what is your name, child? What is your name?
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah, Liana.
Kiriana, very well. Alright, so he holds up the symbol of Odin and begins to wave his hand and says several strange arcanish or priestly words.
I like glance around nervously.
And then he kind of like draws his left hand down in like a... and basically he just cast protection from elements on you and on... That's all it was. He just put a protection of elements on you and on Beecham.
Sweet.
So you've
Alright.
got 20... You've got and Radovan can cast that on himself and Marlowe if he wants to anyway, so... Really no harm, no foul. Alright. He says...
Out of there.
Now then, do you have any questions for me? If you need any assistance or have any questions, ask now.
No, thank you.
Very well.
And thank you, Jarl.
And you have fought the Draugr already, yes?
Yes, we have.
6 of
You have
them.
already battled some of the Draugr.
They are really annoying.
Very well. Then you know the strengths
Well,
and their ability to be impervious to many things.
what are they resistant to exactly, so I know for sure?
Everything, just about.
Lightning, for
Yes.
sure. Fire?
Yes.
They're not impervious to magic, though.
They are immune to the effects of cold. They are resistant to fire, resistant to magic.
What's their weakness, then?
They are dead. That is their weakness.
Alright.
A strong faith is your best defense against them. Other than that, a strong arm.
I'll rely on...
They are not
The
immune
faithful
to
one
the
here.
effects of the things that you mentioned. They are not immune to fire. They are not immune to lightning. They are immune to cold. But they are very resistant to it. It will not hurt them like it would the living.
Okay. Alright, thank you for
And
the
if you do not
knowledge.
kill them, their spirits will regenerate. You see, you are not killing not killing the body. You are killing the spirit inside it, keeping it alive. If you do not kill it, and it is given time to rest, it will come back to full strength. So you must beat them down until they cannot move. And then you must either throw them on a pyre or scatter them so that they cannot come back together.
This will be done, and has been done. Thank you for your advice.
Very well. May Saint Cuthbert give you the
Bye.
power to defeat these things. Aye, indeed. May the blessings of your own god, Saint Cuthbert, be with you. And that of ours, Odin. And maybe Thor himself will bless your
Thor.
arms to give you strength.
I'm gonna nod, and then I'm gonna get the fuck out.
Alright.
Yeah, catch up with my level.
As you start walking out, he yells out, he says, "Enunciate skull!" And they all of the Vikings stand up and start banging their fists on the table, and then they all skull and down their drinks. Alright, so yeah, Beecham is with you as quickly as he possibly can. So they take you outside, they drag you to the edge of town. Well, not drag you, but walk with you to the edge of town. Drag you kicking and streaming. And once they get you to the edge of Bragos, kind of all the way over here, they lower the chest down, and basically, yeah, so any physical weapons are in the chest, armor is in the chest, any rings are in the chest because it was specified.
Sweet.
Kia staffs, they consider those to be weapons, so they would
Cal
be in the
followed
chest.
me. Please, Cal.
Beecham's cat is not in the chest because that they considered valuable.
Oh,
Ugly but valuable.
And
damn it.
That was considered valuable?
well, it had an
Really?
awful lot of ugly. I mean, it was ugly, but it had a lot of gems and jewels stuck to it.
Oh, that's true. They probably gave mine back then.
Yeah, your clay one is back. You've got your clay cup back. So, If there's anything anything questionable you want to ask, the question of whether you have it or don't have it, ask it now.
The flesh to stone scroll.
You have that. That's a piece of paper. He didn't give a crap about that.
Our patents of nobility, same goes, right?
You still have those. Yep.
Okay. Have a rings back.
Torches?
Torches.
Yep. No value.
Furs?
Furs. You definitely
soap,
have. Soap.
and
Yeah,
I
you
need
definitely
that
got the
soap.
soap. Like they care about smelling good. I'll tell you one thing that will not be there: diamond dust.
I was just gonna ask. Diamond dust, ruby dust, all that stuff. No.
Yeah. These guys know loot and no treasure, so they know that is what it is.
Okay, and what about like the ointment for eyes and stuff?
That's ointment. You can have it.
Okay.
Pocket warmers, all that stuff.
Well, the ointment is for the true seeing
Yeah.
spell.
Basically, if it wasn't sparkly and shiny and valuable, they didn't want it.
Oh, what about like the magic crack we have, the cocaine?
That's not actually magical.
I know. I
Warmers.
said as a joke. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So you have that. It's narcotics. So yeah.
And the bam sticks.
Yeah, because they don't know what they are, and they They don't look valuable.
Okay,
I think all
cool.
I had was the kimono and my ring of ram.
Specifically, Radovan said he needed the rings. They don't know. He didn't care who. He didn't know whose rings were what. So all rings are returned.
Other
So
than
you
that, all I
have
had was the kimono and the enchanted coin.
The enchanted coin is probably not with it, because that is a coin.
Yeah, they probably saw it lit up and were like, ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, this one's really shiny. So, alrighty, okay. And with that, you can head off into the frozen waste. So basically, here's what he tells you. That you're going to be heading towards like a section of the mountain that kind of like comes to a peak. They call it the Jarl's Peak. So they basically point you in that direction and then just say keep going towards that. And when you get to the other end of it, you're going to find a tomb. That's where you're going to go. And there's a statue there is a Valkyrie statue outside of it. There is an offering bowl or like an offering table that looks like a bird bath that's out front of it. Once you find those things, you know you are at the right place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's where we're going.
Off we go.
Alrighty. Well, we're about to finish.
Oh,
it
wow,
off.
it's late.
Yeah. So after you basically, so you left out. It was let's see. No, it was morning. Because it was still morning because they didn't want to. They had business, so they wanted to get your stuff dealt with early on. Okay. All right. So after you've been traveling several, probably 4 or 5 hours, the ocean is way behind you. The Valkyrie village is way behind you. Bragos is a speck in the distance. You start walking forward, and you can start to see where there's cliff lines and stuff like that. And you're having to look for places to like navigate up the cliffs. After walking along for probably 30 or 40 minutes without seeing any sensible, viable way up, eventually you can see what looks like a fairly steep slope that looks like you can probably navigate up it to start getting up the edge of the cliff.
I'm going to say, I think I see footprints in the distance. There. Are those human?
Too difficult to tell from this far away.
We can still hear the bar sounds, by the way. That's that.
It's still ringing in your ears. There you go. And you can still hear the fire crackling as well, which doesn't need to be.
Well, it's our
very
pocket
soothing.
warmers, Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, what you should be hearing is that lovely wind.
Oh.
So the wind is behind you. So the wind is basically blowing into your backs because it's blowing off the ocean towards the mountains. Okay. So you get to them. I'm assuming Cal's with you as well. All right. No, they're definitely an animal of some kind. A fairly large animal too.
Like a tiger?
Does anyone want to make a? Anyone want to make a survival check?
I don't have any points in it, so I don't think I can.
Nope. Anyone have survival?
Let me check.
Well, my wisdom will give me +4, but no.
Yeah, but is it?
Have a point or two in it.
Does it have an? I think survival is.
Heyo.
Survival is a.
It's okay. I'll do it without knowing.
Survival is not a train only, so you can do it based on. You don't have to have the skill to be able to, do it. All right, but Kia knows very quickly. She can tell.
Maybe me too. Me too.
You more.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what it is, Kia, but he knows what it is even more.
Dang it.
Yeah, these would be the footprints to. They're very much like what Cal leaves in the snow, only much, much larger. These definitely would be the footprints of a very, very large cat.
He's playing the music. The dun, dun, dun.
And it's time to end it for tonight. Way past. I didn't realize that we'd gone almost an hour over. Holy crap. Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons and Dragons related, and of course you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How We Roll, follow us on Twitter @HowWeRoll. Check out the website www.howweroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers guys!
Shagget here. On How We Roll, I play Radovan Rainier, War Priest of St. Cuthbert, who just so happened to author a new academic book that's coming soon. It's titled Libido Rectification for the Required Propagation of Arconis' Depleted Men-at-Arms, or more affectionately titled Mandate Number 2 and You. You can follow me on Twitter @neb_convos for upcoming book excerpts, just to get the hype going, push up the sales. Thanks guys.
Hey guys, I'm the Dragon Spooker, and I play Marlo Rayfell, monk and resident badass for How We Roll. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so using @DragonSpooker, or follow my Twitch channel, which I sometimes stream on, twitch.tv/TheDragonSpooker. Love you.
Hi, thanks for watching another episode of How We Roll. I am Jane Ivana, and this is my lovely cat, Norman, who really doesn't want to be here right now. You can follow me on Twitter @JaneOnTwitch with a 0. Shh, don't tell him, he doesn't like birds. No. I stream occasionally on twitch.tv/JaneIvana, so you can find me there. And I guess that's all we got. You got something to say? Nope. Peace, suckers. Bye.